wasn't it? You did on Tuesday.
Was it?
Yeah.
Don't know nothing about. Don't know nothing about that, mate.
What?
Tuesday in like 1980, I think TSB are gone, aren't they?
Are they? I don't know. Are they?
Yeah.
I think
I'm still stuck
merged.
in the 80s home.
How's everyone? Are we all right? We're
All
now
right, yeah.
live as well on Twitch.
I just been accused
Not
of robbing a bank. I don't know anything about it.
It wouldn't surprise me, Dan. You are the unassuming type.
Well,
It's that
yeah,
face mask, isn't it?
well, that
Yeah,
face mask.
definitely
Which one was
face
that?
mask.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I've got a variety of face masks. I spent over fucking
That
50,
dodgy
60 quid on
face mask,
Facebook.
mate. Yeah.
Do you know
50,
what?
60 quid on the fuckers.
Do you know what? CEX must have a sign on the door. No fucker wear face mask when you go into CEX, right? Because this is the second time now I've been in CEX, and no one that goes into that shop wears face masks. It's like today.
They do in Gillingham.
Well, I
And
went
that's Gillingham.
I went to Malden today,
Morden.
Yeah,
Fucking hell,
Malden.
mate. Are you surprised?
right? So I went to Malden today, walked in. I bought a retro game actually in there. Guy came in, no face mask. Guy that's sorting out. he was having a complaint about his phone because his phone didn't work, and he was saying, "Oh, you can get it sent off for this price." I don't know what was going on there, but again, no face mask. And when I went to, what was the last place I went to? I was in Worthing.
Worthing?
Worthing?
Worthing, yeah. And I went into CEX in Worthing, and no fucker again, face masks. It must be a special thing that if you're a video gamer, you don't wear a face mask.
Well,
You know.
they do, Stu.
Well, you do realise that cloth face masks don't do fuck all, right?
I'm not wearing a cloth face
Yeah.
mask, so am I?
Here
So
we
most
go.
people wear-
Right,
You
here
know-
comes the 5G conspiracies.
Well, no, I don't believe in that. But you
There's
know,
a
there's
tower gone
still
up there, mate.
there's no evidence that masks work. You look at Sweden;
There's
they're
no
fine.
evidence.
They've
There's
never
no
even had a
evidence.
lockdown.
Fuck off.
They're all good.
What
Fuck
have I
off.
started?
Yeah,
You know nothing about statistics, mate, you fucktard.
yeah.
You've
The
also
only
got
other-
to think that the British aren't exactly the fucking sharpest tools in the shed
Yeah.
when it comes
It's
to
all
actually
about-
following rules
All
and stuff.
about herd immunity, mate. As soon as we get that, the better.
No, we won't ever get that. It's impossible to get. Yeah, I can see your face on the stream, you cheeky little cunt. Yeah.
Hey, I was even wearing a mask on the podcast last week. I was being
Yeah, I know.
doubly fucking cautious.
Yeah.
I didn't want
why-
you catching COVID down the microphone.
Yeah, well, that's why you're dressed in was it a wife beater you've got on at the moment?
Well, it's actually one of my many
Has he got a
Mojo
Stella as well?
t-shirts. The old school Mojo t-shirts. I've still got loads of them left in a drawer. I've got at least 30 just sitting
Well,
there.
You see, the thing is, mate, you could have not bothered changing the name of the podcast again. Just brought it back as Mojo, and you would have scored at least 10 of each of those.
I know, mate. I could have done. It's just forward
Guys.
thinking from you there, Dan. Perhaps
I
I
know.
should just change the name again.
Yeah, I think
It's
that
just-
worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go back to Mojo again, you know, because we've had 360 for a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, now Gamercast. Now, yeah, let's go back to Mojo.
Oh,
I'm
I think
actually-
we should. Yeah.
I'm actually wearing my Mojo t-shirt tonight as well.
Oh,
On the
nice.
grounds that I'm sweating my arse off, and I need something to mop up all the awfulness.
Well, they are really soft, comfy t-shirts, though, so they are good for picking up the sweat.
You know,
You should all be glad that I'm
the
actually
t-shirt-
wearing something.
the t-shirt that I've got is a medium. How the hell did I get into a medium?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that'd be like one of those fitness outfits that you wear, which has got cropped. You know, it stops halfway up your belly.
I'm sure
well,
there's
I still remember when you initially said to me that you wanted a medium, and I had said to you, "Aren't you a bit big for a medium?" And you said, "Nah, I'm all right."
I'm all right. I don't eat. I
So the
don't drink.
larges are really small.
Yeah,
And the extra larges are really small as well.
yeah,
You were done, mate. Good design from Headcase, though.
yeah, man.
Mm.
It's a ledge.
Yeah, that's
I've
still
still got the
brilliant.
black
I love
one
that.
and the white one.
You know, you got a white one.
A white one? I
yeah.
never made a white one.
Sorry, a black one and the orange one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Take a knee, man.
I think we should do a straw poll. If you were to make some more 360G ones, yeah, would people buy them?
Probably not.
Nah, I've got a few people in. Who we got in the stream? I got my glasses on. Who's in the stream?
We've
Clarky.
got
Clarky, you'll buy 5, won't you? Yeah, you will.
Mr. Millinator. I
Hello.
don't know who that is. It must be a newbie. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
He's not Mr. Motivator then.
No.
Oh
no.
shit! I forgot I'm playing this game.
He needs to motivate me to lose this COVID belly. I swear.
It's
I'm
quite
getting
easy,
big.
mate.
Isn't that, oh, I've forgotten his name.
Oh, so
I'm sure he's one of the guys from the community.
Probably.
Well, why else is he tuned in?
Yeah.
Well, no.
got the
I
text,
can't
man.
remember his old gamer tag, if it is.
Well,
Is
why
it
don't you
Tiny
ask him
Ian
to...
or something like
Hello,
that?
Strokey McGinger. Well, what you need to do is ask him to put his name in. Who are you, Mr. Millinator?
Broken McGinger.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Does
been
that
on
mean
shit.
he's got ginger pubes?
probably. Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that, mate. I'll get ginger beard.
They have been eliminated.
Yeah. All right, should we start?
Sorry.
Yes, is that everyone? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
No,
I think
no Peebs, did he say? No, he's what's he doing today?
he's at a
No,
Barbie, isn't he?
Oh, he's shit-faced, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost as good numbers as Doctor Disrespect's 12-hour long, 24-hour marathon of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That
That was fucking annoying.
Sorry. 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 I forgot.
I
didn't
think his
push the mute
quote
button.
was, "I'm banned, tanned, and ready to expand."
yeah, playing the same game fucking again and again, you boring cunt.
What's he playing now? Then he's not still playing.
Well, no, he basically plays what his stream votes him to play, doesn't he?
Yeah, Modern Warfare.
Right. Let me just sort my daughter out, give her to the wife, and then we'll start. Just give me a sec.
I'm gonna have to put something else on because if I keep playing this game, I'm gonna get arsey on the poddy. 'Cause it's-
Oh, he's paused it. Oh, we can say what we want
Yeah,
now.
Voodoo.
Oh, well.
That's who I thought it might have been. Voodoo.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I know
I
he's
ju-
changed his name
I
a few
just call-
times, hasn't
yeah.
See? Well, he's normally Tiny Ian, isn't he?
he? Yeah, but I
Doctor-
think his surname's Miller, so it would make sense.
Dr.
Maybe.
Dickhead.
I don't know.
I haven't spoke to him for years.
Not since. What was it? EGX about.
Yeah,
years
when,
ago?
when he went AWOL, that was it. Didn't really speak to him much after that.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Clarky that went AWOL.
No, it was
Little Clarky. Little Clarky,
Hmm.
eh? There was a second Little Clarky, wasn't there?
yeah, the other one. Yeah, there was the one who lives in the mansion.
31.
Yeah, that's it, Clarky 31. Yeah, he still pops up on my feed for Facebook. I think I'm still friends.
Yeah.
haven't
It's
joked,
usually his girlfriends posting,
Yeah.
tagging him in.
Yeah, that's right, because he's not one for social media, is he?
Nah. Can't blame him, to be honest with you.
No.
Coming back. Right. Oh, I
Go
have
back. Here we go.
the little girl on my lap because Marcus. Oh no! Ah! All right. It's not that scary, is it? Ooh. Okay. Are we ready?
You haven't told us an order.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
soon. Okay. The order is Cinema Dan. Oh no, who is it on a time limit before I even?
No.
Nah.
Working tomorrow.
nah.
Are you working tomorrow? Did you say?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Dan Switch Stunty. Job done. Okay, you ready?
Mhm.
All right. I better press record. Yeah, all right. That's right. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello, welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 31 for Tuesday, the 11th of August, 2020. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby360G, and joining me on this fine evening is...
Sitting in my underpants, Cinema Dan.
Betty Swallox. Sensei Switch.
Wetting my nuts off. It's number one stuntmaster.
How are we all doing, apart from being super hot?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hot.
It is
Fucking
hot.
bloody weather.
It makes you wonder if this global warming thing is actually real, and not just a government conspiracy.
I'm not taking the bait, mate. Alright.
Or whether the planet's
I
just going through its natural course.
Yeah.
I reckon we got it's Huawei, isn't it? They've
Yeah.
done something. You know.
To all the arseholes having barbecues right now. It's all I can smell is charcoal.
Yeah, I had a barbecue today. I've had a barbecue every day. Since Tuesday.
Bloody hell, mate. That's a lot of sausages.
Yeah,
Sausages.
I've had some meaty shits.
Shit.
Sorry.
Is
That's
that
all we
Luke off the
need.
workout?
Well, I'll be supposed to do some stats on this. I mean, how often do we open the podcast referring to poo and sausages and dumping and all sorts of fecal matters? I don't know. Yeah.
Don't think I'm going to have barbecue tomorrow though.
You don't. You got.
Well,
You're not working.
No, I know,
No?
but I've run out of food, so that's the reason why I've got no more meat to eat.
Practice seal for you. All good.
Meat to eat beats
Yeah,
the
meat to
meat.
Yeah, beat the meat.
Yes. Well, it's been a busy few weeks actually. I mean, I haven't actually gamed loads myself, but there was that PlayStation event. I didn't really watch much of it though, to be honest. Did any of you guys watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I didn't see the beginning because I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
And then I watched probably, I think it was 15 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
And the only point I enjoyed was there was one game, it wasn't called Pathfinder, which I put on the Discord. It's Pathless.
Pathless.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I
So
like
had
that.
a journey look about it.
That's it. Yeah, I like the look of that, and that's done by
Yeah,
the
it
guys.
did look
that
pretty
did-
well done.
Did they do Rim, or something like that?
Rise? Son of Rome? No?
No, I think he's right, Rhyme.
Rhyme.
Yeah,
I've not heard of
yeah.
Rhyme.
Yeah, Rime.
Oh, I have heard of that one. It's got like a blue cover and it's got a mountain on
That's
it,
it.
right? Yeah. I've not played it. It's meant to be quite good though, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, from what I heard, everyone said it looked quite good. Apart from they said that, which I did see, which made me laugh, is everyone was saying, "What are they? They had a word with 343 and nicked their grass graphics from Halo." So that made me laugh. I must admit.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
What was the big game from that? I forget the name of it now.
Crash, wasn't it? Was Crash the big game?
No, there was
Oh,
another
well,
one.
Crash did
God's,
look really good.
Godfall,
for
isn't
people.
it?
Yeah, just don't know. Didn't think much of it.
Hmm.
It reminded me of that one, the Ubisoft game, but without the sword sort of thing. What was that called?
Assassin's Creed.
No, what's the Ubisoft game? For Honor.
For Honor. Oh, the game
Yeah.
that no one plays, but it
Yeah,
seems,
yeah, it
seems to
just
still be going.
Yeah, it reminded me of that, to be honest.
Hmm.
So a
Okay.
little bit. But no, it was, to be honest, and I said this on a tweet, I actually thought that, I mean, both sides, because I haven't been on, you did the Xbox one, didn't you, as well? Neither have impressed me. Nothing,
No.
nothing has made me say, I'm going to buy an Xbox or a PlayStation day one. And I have been more PlayStation this gen anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but there's nothing that wants me make me want to buy a PS5 at the moment. So I'm going to stick with what I got.
That's just is it just because the state of the games?
It's just
It's
well,
so,
there's nothing.
Well, they said it was going to be PS4 and PSVR mainly, didn't they? And a few indie titles, and that's pretty much what we got. And for that, I actually thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, the presentation was good on it. I must admit, the games and how they lay them out now and the rest of it is quite cool. And it was quite a long
Yeah,
one.
like I
wasn't
was
it?
saying,
45
look,
minutes.
yeah, the new Crash does look really good for Crash
Mm.
fans. Like they look like they've done quite a lot to that, rather than just making it another bog standard sequel. There's like you can play through the game in like an inverted mode, which doesn't just invert the levels; it also inverts like parts of the graphics as well. They give them their own sort of like weird sort of effects and everything that you do when you're playing through the game, and you can play through the game as two different characters from start to end, and like the different masks you pick up give you different abilities and such. So I think
Yeah, it did
quite a lot of people
good.
were impressed by that one.
But I won't be getting it because I mean I did get the Crash. What was it? The trilogy, wasn't it? It was called. I think it was.
Insane Trilogy or whatever.
Yeah,
it
and
was,
I've hardly played it. I think I bought it, and I think I've only. Oh yeah, there it is. There, I've just seen it, and I've probably only played it about 3 times. You know, not on purpose. It's just I forgot I've got it. Actually, I'm going to drag it out. See if I play it.
Crash
Yeah,
Bandicoot.
it's worth a-
Crash
it's worth a
Bandicoot is
look.
rubbish. That's all I've got to say.
I like
Yeah.
Crash and Spyro.
That's shit as well.
Right,
Sorry.
Dan, go in the naughty corner. Just because you like fucking Mario.
I think those games generally, like your Spyros and your Crashes, have more appeal depending on the age you were of when you got hold of the PS, like the original PlayStation, all those years ago.
Yeah, I had both Crash and Spyro in the early days of PS1, and they weren't good games. I hate to say it. They were the first. Well, if you remember, cast your way back to the first 3D platformer in Mario 64, a lot of consoles were chasing the tail of that. So we had a great big glut of them come through, and obviously we've discussed in the podcast before. Sony's attempt at creating a brand's character has always been a bit lackluster. Nothing really sticks, or it ends up being multi-format anyway, or it's usually poorly designed. And I'm afraid, guys, I class Spyro and Crash Bandicoot in that canon. It's all a bit crap, really. And yeah, I'm just being a downer today, but you carry on.
You are putting it up against like one of the most beloved 3D platformers of all time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it was out a lot earlier than
Yeah,
don't forget Mario was out a lot earlier than Crash, and I enjoy Crash 1. I must admit, it was quite a unique style back then. Graphically at the time, I thought it looked brilliant. I didn't really play Spyro. I mean, I've played it since because my daughter's well into Spyro. She grew up into Spyro, and because of the Skylanders, which was Spyro as well. But I don't know. I sort of missed Spyro when it came out originally. So,
yeah, it was in the same vein as, remember, Jak and Daxter as well.
yeah, I missed. See, that's another one I didn't get into, Jak and Daxter, and I've tried to play them on the Vita. I just don't know. They just don't.
Not very good, are they?
No, they just didn't really do anything for me, to be honest. But there is some good games on the PS1 that were characters. But the problem is they didn't really. I don't think they got the limelight, so they just didn't go anywhere. I mean, I've got a few games that are PS1 games.
Didn't Spyro end up like basically becoming like a tagging character in that sort of toys game thing or whatever it was years ago on
Skylanders?
What was that called? Skylanders. That's
Skylanders,
yeah.
Yeah, Toys for Bob, isn't it? I think Skylanders, isn't it? I think it's the same company, isn't it? So, but there's a fan base, isn't there, for all that kind of stuff? I mean, the Spyros, the Crashes. There's a fan base. I mean, we know there's a fan base because I mean I've seen the price of some of the early stuff, and it has gone up in value. Because there is people that want this stuff still. So you can see why they're going to bring out another Crash. Whether we get a Spyro, because we haven't really had that, have we? I mean, apart from the Skylanders, who knows?
Okay, so have we talked about Godfall? Because I think that was meant to be the highlight of the show, wasn't it?
Well, we did, didn't we?
Briefly touched on it, but
yeah, I just don't think it looked next gen. I just hasn't sold me on the PS5 at all, to be honest. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it looks a bit lacking in like the impact and the. I mean, this might be taken the wrong way, but the sort of combat reminded me very much of like something like Too Human, which wasn't particularly fantastic, was it? For its combat, in a sense. And then you've got the other game coming out later this year, which is again like another sort of looter game, which is supposed to have no microtransactions or anything like that. The third-person shooter, is it Outriders or Outlanders or something like that?
Okay.
Yeah, something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Which actually looks really good. They've talked a lot about like the different classes and the systems and stuff. They've gone far more in depth as to what the actual game is about and what you're going to be doing in it. That seems far more interesting to me at the moment.
Fair enough.
Trying to think what else there was. There was a side-scrolling game I quite like the look of, but I can't remember what it was bloody called.
Was that there was one, wasn't there, like Oni or something, Destroyer of Gods?
No idea.
Yeah,
something weird. Like it looked really, really nice 2D, sort of like stylized.
It seems like they're trying to push indie games again, the PlayStation, aren't they? Because I did see that they're doing a remake of Braid, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, that was one of them. Yeah. I imagine that's going to be across everything though. I can't see that just being a PlayStation one. But I think it's because they took a lot of flack, haven't they, for not really supporting indie devs as much.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
they'll just sort of throw games up on the store. I mean, there is a game, I don't know if any of you played it, that's sort of been talked about a lot this week, that Fall Guys.
No. I've kind of been out of the loop this week because it's
Yeah,
been really
I talked
nice
about
weather.
it.
I haven't even been on my computer at all. It's like it's really weird. Like this past week, because the weather's been nice. Like the first thing I do when I walk
Nice.
downstairs is turn on my PC. But then I've been turning on my PC, but not actually doing anything on it. I like turn it on and then walk away, and I'm outside all day, I'm going out or whatever. Yeah, so I haven't really done any social media I haven't really done anything, to be honest, to do with technology. It's been quite refreshing. So yeah.
This is a great start to the podcast.
Well, shall we get into the games because I do have games that I've actually played, but I'm going to go last.
Okay.
So Dan, you can kick us off, mate, because I think this talking about this PlayStation event is a bit lackluster, to be honest. I might just edit the whole fucking bit out. Go on, Dan.
No, there's some, like I said,
Right.
it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it. Like, there's some good stuff there. I just can't remember the names of some of the titles.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them now. I mean, as I said, we had Godfall. I mean, this ain't Braid. I mean, there's some weird ones here. I'm just looking at Auto Chess. You know, what the fucking hell was that? Oh, they had the Control expansion, but I mean, there's no point for me because I didn't even finish Control yet. So, you know, that's like an Alan Wake sort of storyline, isn't it? That's in Control. You know, it's DLC, isn't it? They showed a trailer for that. The Hitman VR, that did look quite interesting if you're into your VR stuff. So that looked quite interesting. They also showed a Vader Immortal. I wasn't really interested in that. I mean, I remember the Star Wars game, the Kinect Star Wars game on the 360, and that was pretty dog shit. That was. Those
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
going to be
lightsaber
hit or
don't
miss,
really-
isn't it?
Yeah, they don't really sort of work. I still can't find that flipping game it was. So, but the other thing they showed was, did they show that on it? No, they didn't. All right, don't worry about me. I'm just
Is
looking.
adding fuel to the fire, Stunty?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm trying to.
It's
Keep
going
up.
out. It's
I'm trying
going
to-
out.
I'm trying to keep up because I'm the only fucker on this podcast that actually talks about PlayStation, not like you Xbox fanboy.
I talk about games you can play on a PlayStation.
It was is it Aeon Must Die? That was the trailer. It looked quite good. It's quite entertaining.
Are we still talking about this stupid PlayStation event?
Yeah. So
Okay.
right, done.
Okay. Well, just something you already know I've been playing some PlayStation the last couple of weeks a little bit. Talk about it when it's my
good.
turn. Anyway, let's get into games. It's the most important part. Cinnamon Dan, I'm quite keen to listen to what you've been playing, as long as it's not Animal Crossing.
There's a
Oh,
bit
man.
about there's a bit about there. There's a bit about that. It's actually quite well. I've written a lot of letters today to go for my list. So you'd be clear
Letters?
letters, yeah. Well, you put
Why,
letters together.
you're writing to Japan, please.
Well,
please
thing
give
is,
me
Paul,
another Mario.
you put letters together, they make words. You put words together, they make sentences. And then I realised, read my notes back to you, and we have a chat.
Yeah, I don't do notes.
Oh,
That's why I come out with shit.
oh, mate, you got to make notes.
Yeah.
I do,
Right.
but I didn't tonight.
I've even got a dedicated bloody Google bloody doc that I'll share with you guys. You can put notes in.
And they haven't shared it for a while.
Yeah, you haven't shared
It's
with
the
that.
same
was-
link though. It's the same link.
Yeah, I've lost it.
You got to favourite it.
Oh well, can't be bothered. I've got my own little notepad. Anyway,
Yeah,
shall we
pen and
kick
paper.
off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
go.
Right. Well, where do I start? I mean, I've actually spent a bit of money on games this last couple of weeks, all because there's been I've just come back from furlough.
Whee!
Yay! So I've been at work 2 straight weeks working from home, which has been all right.
Do you need a holiday?
Well, strangely enough, I'm actually on holiday for the 21st of August for a week.
Nice.
Really?
And-
Oh my
and then-
god!
And then
Dan.
I've got another week and a half off early September because that was when we were supposed to go to Vegas. So I'm keeping it. So
Nice.
basically, this year I've accumulated, because I get 28 days holiday a year, not including bank holidays. I haven't taken any holiday this year apart from obviously the 4 months of sitting on my arse. And I can carry it all through to next year. But why would I want
Really?
to do that? Yeah. Why would I want to do? And I'm getting paid for all the bank holidays I missed whilst I was sat on my
Boom.
arse.
That's all right,
So I've got
isn't it?
extra 4 days worth of pay coming to me next paycheck.
So that
Yeah,
means you're
that's
only
good,
going to
isn't it?
work 7 months this year.
No,
Less than that,
8.
or is it? Oh.
8.
Well, yeah, it's
Oh,
less than that, but you know what I mean. But really,
Yeah. I know, it's all right, isn't it?
great job, isn't it?
It's like going back to school. Fucking hell,
I
man.
don't know. I did less than that at school.
Yeah.
Dan,
And
one
it's-
thing you do need to do is pull your stubbly face away from your microphone.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Well, it would be a podcast without me doing that.
Oh, I know.
So, Pinball. Right, let's start. Pinball Effects 3. I've got back into it. So
Pinball
I've
effects
been,
I love it. Which one? The Star Wars one or the old
but
school
like-
ones?
well, the old school ones on the Switch. So I bought 3. Was it 3 packs? Yeah, I bought 3 packs worth.
Nice.
Some of the classic tables were half price for a bit. So from that, I got the Universal Monsters pack, which has only got 2 tables, but they're really good tables. So I've got, what was it? Creature from the Black Lagoon and Monster Mash, which is really cool. So that was, I did that, and no one else has really bought that apart from a couple of randoms I got on my friends list. So it's not really many people to beat a high score wise. But then I bought, I think it was Classic Pack 3 on the Williams tables, which has got Black Rose,
Okay.
Attack Mars, and Party Zone. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to beat your scores. I think I've got a few of them done.
Okay, I haven't played for bloody ages.
And then there was the Universal Pictures one, which has got Jaws, Back to the Future, and E.T., which I haven't really played too much today because I only got that earlier, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, I'm gonna play on that. I've got the old what's it called, the Fun Grip or the Vertical Grip?
Flip grip.
What is Flip Grip? That's the one.
Flip grip's awesome, mate.
So that works. It's really cool. I just fancied a bit more pinball, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's good,
and-
man. It's a good game.
Yeah. So I'll be topping up the tables as and when they got these discounts and deals.
Yeah.
And then taking on about the 4 people on my friends list that play the game. So it's not like
Yeah,
the old,
it's
it's
about
not like
it,
the old,
yeah.
it's not like the old days of 360,
No, that's it.
Um,
Everyone's on different platforms now, aren't they? And
which is kind of disjointed it a bit. But to be honest, I prefer playing it on the Switch than I do
Yeah.
on the Xbox One.
yeah, I'm
being
the
honest.
same. Yeah, I'm the same because that flip grip makes a world of difference. I think.
Well, you can sit down anyway. I mean, as I said, I mean,
Yeah.
today when I'm trying to cool down, I've been laying on my bed in well, what is essentially the coldest room in the flat, which is still probably about 25 degrees Celsius plus still. Just chilling out, really. It's all good. So
Yeah.
that was good. And then another one I picked up on the cheap half price. I don't know why I did it. It was quite cheap. Was Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that fighting as Lego.
Yeah, it's like you know the Lego games, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but is that like Lego Marvel? Is that a fighting game or is it
No.
actually? All right, okay. Because I was just saying, if it was a fighting game, you wouldn't last long, would you? Because you just kick him in the head and his head would fall off.
Yeah, well, it's typical platforming like in the old Lego games.
Oh,
but
like the old one, like the Batman,
Yeah,
Lego Batman.
yeah, so
Right,
they-
I got you.
they kind of souped it up. There's more bells and whistles on this one. So to be honest with you, it doesn't really lend itself too well to the small screen because it's very hard to see shit. And what your next objective is and where everything is.
Is this
But
on all
it's-
platforms? Yeah.
All platforms, so even your PlayStation.
Well, Stung
If
would be
you-
happy then.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So
right.
I might as well pretend I played it on PlayStation to keep him happy.
Yeah, that's it.
Shout out to
Um,
you Xbox fanboys.
Yeah, and also all the DLC was only an extra £4, so I've got all that. So whether or not I actually finish it or not, I've got all the DLC anyway.
Nice.
But it is. I mean, as I say, I'm a bit of a Marvel fan, so rather than DC. But it's nice just to pick up and play something which I don't have to kind of spend noodles of cash on to unlock stuff, which is always a tricky thing with these types of games, I suppose, because they do lend themselves to multiple characters and unlocks and shit. next up, my physical copy of Streets of Rage 4 came through. Yeah,
Oh, have you
Yeah,
actually been
and
playing
mine.
it?
Yay.
I have. Well, it's in my list. I've been playing it. It's good.
Oh.
It lends itself really well to a handheld, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It feels suitably meaty when you're beating the crap out of them through the Joy-Cons. And it's pretty much like the Xbox One version, but the PlayStation one without the achievements or trophies.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's probably one of the games of the year, if I'm being honest. There's no doubt about it.
I've had no one to play with, so I've only done the 3 levels I did with you, Dan, and that was it.
Well,
I've only done the first 2 levels, Webby.
Oh,
They're
okay.
online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Right.
It's on Game Pass,
Yeah.
isn't it?
No. I mean, on the Switch, is there online?
Oh,
yeah, I think so.
imagine
Yeah, it's pretty much identical to the other ones.
Right, yeah, because I picked it up on the PS4. I didn't realise, but you know,
We've all got it on different platforms.
yeah. Well, no, I had it on Game Pass, but
You wanted to
well,
support
I
your Sony masters.
yeah. Well, and also I don't like the controller, so I got it on the PlayStation anyway. But the
Okay.
thing is Dan told me that it was coming out as a physical version. So I went onto that website that you said and I bought it from there. But I didn't realise that the version I bought was the special super duper version. I didn't realise.
The
I thought it was-
soundtrack and everything.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got about badges and things you can stick on your head. And
So
all
loads of
sorts.
tap then, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
loads
tap.
of crap, yeah. And it comes in a great big huge box that needs to go in the recycling bin, but I won't.
Sell it, mate. It'll be
No.
worth something soon.
It'll be
No, I'll
worth
keep
something in about 50 years.
Exactly.
So, well, no, I looked on eBay and already people were selling them on there for 100. It was like, so-
Yeah, because it's there was about 2 companies, wasn't there, that were
Limited
Half.
Run and
Yeah.
someone else, wasn't it?
yeah,
Signature.
this wasn't limited. Yeah, that's it. That's where it's come from.
Because all I got was a reversible sleeve and a rubber keyring.
Keyring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the rubber keyring as well. It was in the game, so not actually in the game.
Did you like the art book, which was just basically
Oh,
like
yeah.
a pamphlet of the different characters?
Well, exactly. And yeah, it also made me chuckle because it's the first time I've seen those little book grips in a Switch case ever used. So, yeah. I mean, I love the game. It's great. As I said, I'm close to finishing it again on my own. It's pretty straightforward in my eyes as a kind of a brawler. You just need to. I mean, if you've played Streets of Rage before, you know the mechanics. You know what works and what doesn't. It's not like some of the others. I mean, it's a lot of zoning. You need, in order to survive in that game, you need to perfect your grips and your grabs, and also your timing and your combos as well, and when to do the right move at the right time against the right characters. So it's quite complicated in that regard. It's very deep, believe it or not.
Yeah,
So-
I started it properly, because I did play it on the Xbox, but I didn't really give it my full attention. But this time now, playing it on the PlayStation, I'm sort of being a bit more careful what I'm doing, so I don't lose lives and stuff like that. And I'm slowly getting through it. To be honest, I'm really enjoying it, more now than I did on the 360.
Yeah, I mean, on the 360 was fine, but because I thought it was a great game, it never felt like I've actually paid for it, so I didn't necessarily had the kind of respect for it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a weird
but
one
you
when
do.
you don't own it.
Exactly. I mean, some people think that's crazy, but
Yeah,
it's a
you
bit
are.
like
You're
it's a bit-
insane.
well, it's a bit
No,
like
it's
like listening to music and owning music. It's like
It's
everything's so
weird.
disposable when you stream or download stuff. It's
It's so
Yeah, if you-
much cheaper though, isn't it?
but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah,
It's hard to pinpoint.
I don't know,
Yeah,
Dan.
totally.
I mean, for me, I've never had a deep appreciation for music, so I don't really get it. But there we go.
Well,
Apart from gaming music, Final Fantasy music, that's like the greatest music of all time. But I still stream that shit.
you can play the games.
Yeah.
It's hard to put. I mean, I'm not going to put it into too much words, but people who are into their music and listening gigs and everything, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Those are the people that have record players.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a record player. Well,
Wow.
two 1210s.
Yeah, I've
Maybe
just
the
got
best.
standard vinyl player. That's it. But a load of cool records.
I think the problem is like, I used to love getting the physical games. I've still got stacks in the loft. I've got hundreds of Xbox 360 games in the loft, and But it's like I've got nowhere to put all this stuff. That's the thing, you know, especially with kids and that. It's like you buy all this crap. Where do you put it? And in my case,
Well,
it all
yeah.
goes in the fucking loft. So I just see it's pointless for me. And I think there's a lot of people in my position, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why physical media, to an extent, has started decreasing. Not only is it convenient now to stream and download, like there's only so much crap that people's small flats and houses can
That's
withstand.
it. Especially these days with the price of houses, you know. Houses are
Well-
getting smaller and smaller now, aren't they? You know, people can afford to live in.
Well, not really. And they've always been the same size since they were built.
Well, no, I mean like new builds and shit. You know, fucking hell.
You buy a house on Tuesday, you buy Thursday, you've got a garage.
Oh, so, yeah, well, it's an EA house.
If you do an
Yeah.
update, it goes back bigger again.
But you got to delete half your living room to make space.
Exactly.
You got an update.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh well, to the next game. I wish I will have a bit of a rant one particular game in a minute, but
Okay.
I'll go with something that's pretty decent. The original Burger Time came out on Switch.
Burger Time on the Switch.
Yeah, burger.
Yeah.
Or
If you,
Mr. Wimpy, if you're
Mr. Wimpy, yeah, this is a classic arcade game. It's not as big as, I suppose, your Pac-Mans, but it is. There you go. You got it on the feed. No, that's not it.
That's Burger
No.
Time.
That's
Can't
not
see the
Burger
feed.
Time.
Oh, it's Burger
Is
Time.
it Burger Time Deluxe?
This is Burger
Yeah.
Time Party.
No, we don't Burger Time.
Is
Party,
it Super
mate.
Burger Time?
No, that's crap.
Is it on the
It's Burger
Arcade
Time.
Archives? Is it the old
Yes,
one?
it is.
Ah,
It is. Yeah. Sorry, listeners to the podcast who can't see me. Tell Webby's got the wrong fucking stream up. There you go. You got it right now. There you go. So this game is fucking magnificent. Look at it. It's basically a platformer, very 2D. You play someone who resembles the Swedish Chef from the Muppets, and the idea is that you go up and down ladders, and you dislodge pieces of your burger, such as your bun, lettuce, burger, and bottom half of the bun. And the idea is that you've got sausages by the looks of it, and pickles and eggs following you around, and you got to kind of dodge them to get through the level and dislodge everything. There's bonus points for crushing them, and you can also pepper them as well to make them freeze. So, but it's tough as nails, I have to say. I mean, I've only managed the 4th level so far.
It looks hard.
Old school, mate. Old school game.
Old school game, but it's a nice burn through, and it's a good old score attack game. You kind of get into a rhythm and a knack with it after a little while, because you kind of learn that the characters or the enemies aren't as subtle as, I suppose, the ghosts in Pac-Man. They actually will zoom in on you. There's a couple of patterns I'm noticing which they will avoid, so you just need to learn them. But most of the time, you build up a great big chain of burger fodder, and then you do your best to try and crush it all. Yeah, it's about £6 on the Switch. I had great memories of this game when I was younger. I think there was a version of it on the Commodore 64 which I loved to pieces.
It was the Ocean Software did it, didn't they? And I think
Yeah.
was it called Mr. Wimpy?
Yeah, it was Mr. Wimpy, whatever. Yeah. So if no one's familiar with Mr. Wimpy, I think we discussed this before on the podcast.
Everyone knows Mr. Wimpy,
but
surely.
but I'm thinking about the Americans who
Okay.
don't listen. No, you're going to find Mr. Wimpy's video game, aren't you? Excellent. So Mr. Wimpy, he resembled a beefeater, like you get down the Tower of London or Tower Guard or whatever they're called.
Not like
And
the guy from Popeye.
No, and the idea is he basically during kids' parties at Wimpy's, they used to get poor members of staff to dress up in that costume, and then people like my younger brother would beat the crap out of him or her. So the idea being, I don't think there's any video footage of it, sadly. But the idea being is it was the I think Burger King bought out most of the outlets over here when they became established. There are a few Burger Kings, no, not Burger Kings, Wimpy still left around, but they're renowned for burger and chips on a plate with a knife and fork. So
And
it's all
their
very
milkshakes as
Yes.
well were really nice. The lime,
Yeah.
they used to do a lime milkshake, which was
Is that Mr. Is that
Lovely.
the game? That's not the game.
That's Mr. Wimpy. It is.
Oh, we were wrong. Oh, there it is. There he is. There we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea is it's basically a Burger Time clone.
Yeah.
So the idea is it's exactly the same, but it was a simpler time in the 1980s for burger eating in the UK. We weren't quite used to it. I don't think we had many McDonald's here until at least the late 70s or early 80s. I remember
Yeah, because
correctly.
Wimpy's were everywhere, weren't they? Because you even
Yeah.
have ones on like service stations or places out in the
Yeah.
sticks. You stopped off at. And you
There
went
used to be
straight
one
down.
in Chatham next to Woolworths.
Yep.
Talk
Good
about
old
like
Woolies.
graveyard
Oh.
high street.
Wow.
Mate, Hempstead Valley Shopping Centre, in the picnic parlour,
Yeah,
next to Spud You Like and KFC.
yeah. Spudulike's gone now as well.
Yeah. If
Or
anyone,
Spadulica, as they used to
Spadulica.
call it.
if no one's familiar with Spud You Like, it was the fast food restaurant equivalent for baked potatoes.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was lovely, mate.
Yeah, you used to go in and
It
get
was
your
good.
beans with them.
Beans, cheese, coleslaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Chili. Yeah.
Yeah. See what do you want?
Okay.
So yeah, that's a trip down memory lane for you. Well worth the £6.
Next week we talk about Tapper.
Yeah. Speaking, I need to have a little bit of a rant. I put a little bit of a rant on the Facebook group a little bit. It was a really good article actually about the state and the sorry fucking state of the Nintendo eShop.
Okay.
If anyone's
Is it worse than the PlayStation store?
oh man, it's being gamed by these indie developers.
Actually, they're all shit. The Xbox one's fucking horrible as well.
Yeah, but this one is so evident at the moment what's going on. You'll see a lot of games that are typically priced usually at about £10 to £15 or so, and in order to get attention to themselves, what they tend to do, and it became crystal clear exactly what was happening. They reduced their prices to sub £1 to get up the charts and pay attention to itself, and obviously to kind of foment a user base to try and generate bigger sales further down the line, or at least have more people play their game for a start. And they're gaming it because the whole thing, if you look at the eShop each week, they have at least 15 to 20 titles turn up, all vying for attention.
Yeah, it's
All at the same
weird, isn't it?
prices.
Because Nintendo used to be, all about the Nintendo seal of approval, and now, like
Yeah,
the
you
Nintendo
don't get
eShop
caught.
on the Switch is just, it's like the App Store,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
an iPhone or an Android phone, isn't it? And it's just fucking dog shit. A lot of those games.
It is. I mean,
really is,
a lot
yeah.
of games come out and then they basically get featured for a week or two on new releases,
Yeah.
and then just drop into the abyss.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's good for that? That's no good for anyone. It really isn't. Obviously, there's a massive oversupply of titles into the market, but the way the market's positioned and the way the menus are positioned now, in order to get attention to yourselves and rise up in the charts, this particular game I'm going to talk about today did exactly this. So it's usually about £15, and it's called All Star Fruit Racing.
It sounds shit already.
Yeah,
You know?
it is. A Facebook ad popped up, 77p, and I will, oh fuck it, how bad is this game? I can at least slag it off. And then I downloaded it overnight because it was about 1 or 2 gig, and I really was late at night and really got me bothered to download and play it. And I had a couple of races on it, and man, it's a Mario Kart clone. I mean, you look at the you got it on the screen at the moment. You look at the the video advertising. You think, oh, that that looks competent, I suppose. Although the character design's god awful. And then you start playing it, and you realise, man, this is shit, absolute shit. The idea is it's a Mario Kart clone where you race against various characters who all look like fairies from a Disney cartoon, and the idea is that everyone likes fruit, so you get fruit tips in between levels about what different types of fruit do to you, and how much would it take to eat to do this and that, and blah blah blah. And it's awful. It's usually about £15. So it's got online with it. So on paper, you're like, okay, you got all bases covered. Oh man, I mean, I'd rather spend the money on a fucking bag of crisps. And the strange
Not
thing
a
about
real
it,
piece of fruit.
not a real piece of fruit. I've only eaten half the apples I bought about a week ago. I bought a few actually. I better eat some more. But the idea is it's just
Dog shit.
the idea. Yeah, dog shit. But when I looked to see where it was in the charts, it wasn't where it was in the charts. 77p, number one.
Wow.
Yeah, because of all you mugs that saw the advert and then went and bought it. That's why.
It kind of highlighted the point though. I mean, how long it's been out for 2 years, this fucking game. 2 years, and it's got to the point where in order to get attention, you've got to go into peanuts, potentially make a loss because you'll basically throw some of that money towards MP minus tax, minus
They're probably
Nintendo's
making
cut.
about 20-30p on the gut in each
Exactly.
game sold.
Wow,
exactly.
That's how many
Yeah,
it's go, isn't it?
I mean, with installer base, the size it is, that might be worthwhile for a week or two. But it's
How
not
many
helped.
is it now on the Switch?
Huh?
60 million, isn't it? They've sold. Sorry,
God knows,
no.
mate.
I don't know. But, I mean, there was a thing this week that Animal Crossing has sold 32 million copies.
22.
Oh, 22 is it? I
Yeah,
thought it was
22.
30.
That's still a hell of a lot.
That's a hell of a
It's
lot,
fucking
isn't it?
shitload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made something like, was it 430% profits like this
Yeah.
year so far on Nintendo?
The key point for this though is if this shady practice is going on, I mean, what about all the other people, playing the game legitimately and not earning the money and basically getting smothered out by this bullshit?
Well, they need to sell them for 77p then, don't they?
Well, yeah, I mean that'd be great, but it's not sustainable, and it would be nice to have a better eShop where it actually works and you're actually able to filter games properly and have a focus. I mean, it's all a bit lackluster. Really needs a complete overhaul. It needs segmenting as well to direct people in different areas.
The Wii U was shit though as well, wasn't it? The dash
Yep.
on that, the store was dog shit. I mean, I went on
Yep.
it a little while back, and it's still terrible. You still can't find what you want to look for. You know?
Yep. Exactly. I mean,
So-
Nintendo can make great games. Third parties, less so much. But fucking game stores, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's almost an afterthought. It's fucking awful. But yeah, that's my slight moan about that. I suppose gone. So we're going to get on to the I suppose the real meat of the of my selection of games. I reckon about halfway through Paper Mario. I'm not going to say too much more. I'm going to chug along a bit slowly but surely. It's decent. It's a great game. Buy it now. And then since last time I spoke about Animal Crossing, we've had 2 new functions added. So we've had the Dream Suite added and fireworks on a Sunday afternoon. So actually Sunday evening. So the actual fireworks are happening now between 7 and 10. So if I go quiet for a little bit, I'm going to be running around my islands and collecting balloons, umming and ahhing, and I'm pretty sure there's some dodgy firework displays being put out there of people with fallacies and all sorts of nasty things appearing in the sky. So onto the Dream Suite, I suppose. If you're not familiar with this, it's kind of a cool feature. You can basically join anyone's islands without them being there. If you have their Dream Suite code, you basically pop it in. You basically go to you lay in bed and you fall asleep, and then you type in your code and you go and visit a facsimile of their island where you can't really do much. You can't get any resources, but you can see what people have been up to and some designs and stuff. And I've seen some islands that make my head melt. In the sense that they're so cluttered and they're all like hidden and nothing makes any bloody sense. And then there's some other ones that I think, oh, that's a cool idea. So if anyone's listening wants to visit my island, Haya Napa, type in this code. Haya Napa. Right, type in this code. It's DA-6964-5489-0998. And then you can go and visit me. Although I might update the islands a little bit because I've had a couple of residents leave recently, and I've done a little bit of work on a couple of areas. But other than that, all good. So that's.
Can I just interrupt you for a minute, Dan? Going back to Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Did you play the Wii U one?
No, I didn't. That was a completely different game, wasn't it?
I don't know really, but no, I just wondered if you played the Wii U one.
No, I didn't. This is my face Paper Mario.
Right, okay, because that one I've been told. I mean, I played that one and it was really good. I don't know. I haven't even looked at this one, but I did hear that one was actually better than this one is actually.
Possibly, yeah,
Yeah.
possibly.
One
I
to
mean-
check out because I know you did fire up your Wii U a while back.
Yeah, it's still powered up.
Mm.
The only thing I've played recently on there is probably Mario Tennis Super Smash. That's the only thing I've really played on it. And I've still got to play a bit more Zelda Skyward Sword on it, but
Yeah.
I've finally got a bit of well, I wouldn't say busy, but I've got a bit more time, less time at my hands, as I say that.
Do you know?
Cool.
Did you know that I actually bought 2 Wii U games the other day?
You did. What'd you buy?
They are the last 2 ever Wii U games.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Yeah. No, just they were endorsed by Nintendo but sold by another company, and they were the only company that were able to do them. One of them was called Finding Teddy 2.
This is one for the quizzes.
Yep, so I'll let you look that one up. Finding Teddy 2, and the other one, which actually they've actually both come out on the Switch actually as well. But I just wanted them on the Wii U because I like my Wii U. And the other one was the Shmup collection.
Oh yeah.
I haven't had the chance to play them yet because I'd moved the Wii U in the other room and I haven't set it back up again. So, but yeah, quite bizarre in 2020, and I've actually bought some Wii U games.
Well, I bought one recently this year. Another one which is still in the wrapper, and that's the Wii U version of Star Fox, which I've heard is dog shit.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be horrendous.
Yeah,
controls,
it cost me
isn't it?
£7. I think that'll be all right.
Mm.
So it's
The
sat on the
short
shelf.
version one was good, which was a code. If it came with a code for the other game, that was supposed to be good, but I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I might have a look inside then. I might do that.
That was supposed to be good. The main game is supposed to be crap, but there was another game as well that was included with it. I think that's like a puzzle game or something, or board game sort of style, thing. But that was supposed to be really good. But for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called.
Okay, cool. Well, that's
Yep.
me done.
Fair
Unless you
enough,
got any
mate.
further questions?
No,
All good?
I'm all good.
Good.
Carry
on.
Oh, he's thinking to himself, I'm too hot for this shit.
Oh.
What's that? Sorry.
You're probably thinking to yourself, you're too hot for all this shit.
Oh, I'm starting to melt actually at the moment.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Great. Is it my turn? Is it?
Yes, it's your turn.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Due to the horrendous weather, I haven't really done a great deal of gaming. Just mainly laying on my bed, staring at the television. Really.
Fair.
Yeah. Obviously, Dan touched on it earlier. Street Fighter 4. Been playing a little bit of that. I only sort of played a couple of levels before I went to work one day. Enjoying it. Bosses at the moment are a bit sort of like the old cheesy cheapness, if you know what I mean.
Cool.
Okay,
With the sort of like where it's like, oh, I'm just going to run across the screen and grab you, and there doesn't really seem to be anything you can really do about it, kind of thing.
Did you say Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5?
Sorry, no, I meant Streets of Rage 4.
Oh, we said Street Fighter 4.
No, I think I probably did say Street Fighter 4.
He's got
sorry.
to you, man.
Yeah, it has. Yeah,
What are you
it's
playing
threw me
on
out
then?
a little bit. Xbox One.
Right. Okay.
Because it's the only system I've got. It's the only system I've got sort of hard drive space, which is worth sacrificing on, really. At the moment, obviously still doing dailies on Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Daily.
Been playing. Yeah, well, there's dailies where you earn like the in-game sort of currency that you use to open things to get your cosmetics. So you can basically earn all the cosmetics in the game from just playing the game. You don't need to actually spend money. Which I always found. Oh yeah, well, I have basically done 100% of everything bar Lost DLC, which I'm just waiting on going into it, which is the final one of the 3 DLCs. But I've like 100%ed all of the other bits.
All right, so you've done Medusa then?
Yeah, I've done all of the original game.
Right.
Nice.
Sort of thing, just basically getting myself ready for Ragnarok or whatever it is later in the year, or Valhalla even. Sort of a thing. Been playing Fortnite Save the World with my mate Goose a fair bit. They just like added new sort of like a weird seasonal mode in it, where basically everyone's sort of like base levels gone back to 1. Which is, I find quite cool, because you actually end up in a game with competent people who know what they're doing, and not people just making a shitty abomination out of like wood and then hoping that it's going to survive the assault. Sort of, Final Fantasy 14. I've obviously been doing that in preparation for Tuesday's patch.
Okay, anything interesting
Which
in the
is
patch?
like, well, basically the continuation of the story, brand new 24-man raid, new dungeon, I think possible continuation of the Relic quest line. You're going to now be able to fly in all of the 2.0 zones, like I think I touched on before. And you'll also have like little extra new parts of those zones you'll be able to access now because you can fly.
Cool.
There's probably a ton of other stuff. I haven't bothered really reading into the patch notes. I usually do that on the day while I'm waiting for the update to go live. I expect it to be a complete shit show trying to log in after the patch goes live, because it's like everyone trying to run through a small door on like Black Friday.
Okay, so what's this? So it's not. Oh, I might have to reset
Patch
for the new story stuff.
5.3. It was basically supposed to have come out about 2 or 3 months ago, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So it's basically put everything completely out of sync. I mean, they've already cancelled the American Fan Fest that was later this year.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
They're hoping to do one a bit later on, but I don't know. I'm not too fussed, to be honest. I've had so much other stuff to play. Having something else there to sort of like play through hasn't really been too much of a thing. It's nice to have lulls sometimes, where it's like, oh, that's cool, I can crack on with this, that, or something else. Black Desert I've been playing as well. They added like a new crossover event with some Netflix show called, is it Cursed?
Oh, really? Oh,
I think it's supposed to be something to do. Yeah, it's this show anyway is apparently something to do with like the legend of King Arthur, but they've gender flipped it, so it's like got a main character.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be the Lady of the Lake or something, who's like the hero of it all, but I'm not sure. But yeah, they've added in some new questing for that, which I can't do because they've locked it behind you need to be level 56, and I'm level 49 permanently because I don't want the forced PvP shit while I'm running around in the game. So it's kind of annoying, but I can generally do quite a lot of the main game, and I can encroach into the latter areas, and I do laugh because I'm farming mobs in the latter areas and people are trying to PvP me, and it comes up with a message.
Oh, okay.
Where they're obviously like, why can't I PvP? Oh, this is a level 49 person. What are they doing here? And I'm just hammering the crap out of things because I spent, was it 1.5 billion pounds or something in game on a trinket that like boosted my attack up a hell of a lot, sort of a thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like generally like the gear sort of stuff and defense is what matters. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It's still a great game despite its faults. I've been mucking around with the Hashashin as well class on it, which is fairly decent. Does like teleporting, throws whirlwinds out and things like that. Uses like a scimitar and another smaller dagger to block attacks. Because not all actual classes are able to block, which is a really useful skill to actually have in that game, considering the amount of times some of the enemies can attack you, especially if you get swarmed in an area, like which is like full of mobs. Managed somehow to put another 6 hours into Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, brilliant. I've been wanting to hear more about this awesome game.
I fucking love it, mate. It's a fantastic game. I really haven't got too much bad to say about it, apart from, like I said, the last time I was on, where the jumping seems a bit iffy. When you're sort of like trying to do some of the platforming on some of the other bits. There's been like 1 or 2 times where I've like jumped to go onto a log and then the game's like, no mate. And I'm just like, yeah, that's good. I'll just take the massive health loss, thank you.
So does it feel a bit like Assassin's Creed set in Japan then?
Not really. It's more like Assassin's Creed is kind of like everything's at a point. like, as you know, as you're running around, you'll have like a cave here
Yeah.
or a ruins there, and you'll have enemies in those set zones.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, you can just bump into them randomly on the road. Like, they could be like tying someone up, trying to kidnap them, or they could be killing some civilians and stuff, and you'll just bump into a group of
Okay.
Mongols. Only thing I've noticed that maybe another slight thing against it, I've leveled up my sword a few times,
Yeah.
and now all of the enemies I'm fighting are like armoured up and stuff. So it's like the game's saying like, oh, your
Saw
sword's
you coming.
leveled, so now all the enemies are. And
Levels
I'm
up
like,
with you.
that kind of annoying when it does that. Like, I'd rather it was like, depending on where you are in the story, or depending which island you're on out of the main 3 islands,
Mm-hmm.
or the 3 connected parts of that island itself. Depends on what kind of enemies you're bumping into. But I've started bumping into enemies that like throw fire bombs and have like dual wielded swords and things like that, and the shields are like far more robust, or their spears are now like giant pikes, so they're actually looking less like a peasant army and more like a
Yeah.
full-on army. But yeah, the combat's still extremely satisfying. The game, like, it's the colours in the game which are just the highlight. It's like almost everywhere you go in the game, you could just take a screenshot.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it looks amazing, man. It's definitely a game that I'm going to pick up at some point, but I'm being a tight ass at the moment, so I'll pick it up, as I said before, when it's on sale. But looks stunning. I'm really keen to
I mean, you'll probably
play
be able
this.
to pick up the copy within the next couple, and unless they release information on any additional stuff soon, you'll probably start seeing a few copies ending up in like the second-hand market or
Yeah,
whatnot.
maybe. Yeah.
And if not, if you wait till Black Friday, I'm sure you'll probably get a steal on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hold
And
their
that's
prices
only a couple of months
exclusive,
away. Yeah, I mean, the game sold surprisingly well. I
Yeah.
think in Japan it's still out of stock. If you want a physical copy in Japan, I think they've told everyone, like, if you want a copy, you're better off getting digital, because they don't even know when they're getting shipments in.
Wow.
Like,
But
so there's, in Japan, they've got, and even in parts of America, certain shops were only sent like a small amount of copies of Ghost of Tsushima in comparison to Last of Us 2,
Yeah.
because they didn't expect it to sell as well. And most of these shops completely sold out straight away of Ghost of Tsushima, whereas they've got like hundreds of copies of Last of Us rotting in the storeroom. Because obviously after the first week or two of the sales and people finding out more about the game and the things that people did or didn't like about it, it's put off a lot of people from actually picking it up. So the game has still done really well, just not as well as it
It's
could
had a
have
big
done.
drop off. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
But we'll see if Ghost can still like carry on for the next sort of like 2 or 3 weeks of being like as popular as it has been. But I think Angry Joe's put up a video review on it now, hasn't he? He seemed to really love it, and most people seem to. A lot of people were obviously kind of on the fence about it, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, to be honest. But for what it is, I think it's a fantastic title. And I'm only sort of like, say, technically 7 or 8 quests into the main story itself. The rest of the time I've just been running around, because you'll get multi-level quests for all these characters that you meet.
Okay.
So you'll do like the first part of their mission, then it'll be like, oh right, next meet me at so-and-so farm, and then their quest marker will move across the map to that location. And then the second part of their quest will be there. And then obviously when you do that, you'll get another quest there. But while you're moving to that person, you might end up bumping into someone else who gives you another new quest line or a side story or just more exploration stuff. Like, it is like the actual design of the actual levels itself as well. If you play it, you'll know. Like, it's fantastic how they've managed to obviously keep it like interesting and have all the areas look almost entirely different, even though they're set all on the same island.
Yeah, it looks stunning, man. It's a game that I'm really keen to play.
Yeah, and the other last one I will really probably talk about is, I've only really put about an hour into it because of the heat and working a fair bit, was Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tale.
That's all
It is
that.
just called Fairy Tale for
Yeah.
some reason. It hasn't
What is
got
that?
like a weird tag name. It's based on a manga anime series.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it? What kind of style game is it?
It's a turn-based RPG.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. I thought
Is
it
But
it
was.
they've done it.
PlayStation exclusive?
No, I think it's on Switch as well, and that's one thing that I've noticed that holds it back a little bit, in my opinion. Because I've said it before with My Hero One's Justice, that originally came out on the PS4 and the Switch,
Yep.
and then they brought out My Hero One's Justice 2 on I think everything but the Switch, and because of that, it's got obviously it utilises the Series X or the PS4 Pros mode, so it gives you the increased resolution and all of that lot. So you'll notice when you're playing like Fairy Tale, I was like, hold on a sec, and I looked, and it's like, yeah, 1080p is like the highest resolution
Well, I'm
it
just
has.
looking. I'm just watching a video now, and it looks like a PS3 game, to be honest.
It doesn't, but
It does to me. It's the art style, the way it's done.
it runs really well anyway. The turn-based combat's fun, and they've kind of taken it in a direction that I said they could have done, sort of in where you'll get people that turn-based, you just run up and hit someone and then they jump back, sort of a thing. And now in this, you get like you'll get a cutscene for when you do a move, and it's usually done in like a flashy anime sort of styling to it. So like the moves have that extra sort of power and sort of a bit more interest behind them. It's done really well. As far as I know, I don't think it's sold particularly well. Like even in Japan, where you'd think it would be like pretty, like I think it only shifted something like 20,000 copies on release week.
Oh wow.
Because Japan is getting cautious with PlayStation games. Like that's what makes Ghost of Tsushima being quite more of a shock in the fact that they actually took to that quite well. Maybe it's due to the fact that a lot of the PlayStation owners in Japan are still playing Ghost of Tsushima or whatever, I don't know. But I know that the censorship that Sony have imparted on a lot of Japanese games is turning Japanese players more towards PC gaming now.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Over there. Which is kind of weird considering like they should be more into their consoles and stuff because their homes are smaller than ours. And like you were saying with like space and like management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also came out that the day one patch for Fairy Tale actually censors some of the things in the game.
Oh, okay.
It's banned.
And that's
interested
on all formats.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't, but you have had it before where a certain platform wants something cut and then they kind of demand that it's cut across all platforms the same because they did it apparently with Terminator. Do you remember the Terminator game that came out, I think it was last year?
No, it must have been dog shit.
No, it was actually supposed to be pretty decent. I think it's supposed to be one of those ones where like the AI in it's pretty shit.
Okay.
But the rest of the game is actually handled quite okay. It's set during the actual war between the Terminators that's going on, like the future war that you see in the films that they've never done justice in any of the films themselves.
Terminator Resistance, is that the one?
Is that the one? Yeah, that could be it. But yeah, there was apparently like relationships you can have in the game with certain characters, and like the scenes went a bit far. And then I think Sony basically went, "No, mate, you
fucking
cut out."
awful.
What, the Terminator game?
The graphics look awful.
You could have a hot date with a Terminator.
This came out last year, and it's by like a smaller dev.
Okay. Oh, hello.
But yeah, they basically got caught out because I think someone said to the devs about like why was this removed because it was in like a version that they had, and they kind of ended up spilling the beans saying yeah there was a certain platform that didn't want it in the game, and they basically sort of like made sure that it all versions of the game.
Right.
But
Well-
shooting and killing things is fine. Okay, I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? Like, I know it's a bit of a spoiler, but you can't have a character showing a bit of leg or a bit of cleavage in like a foreign game, but yet in a Western game you can have a woman getting taken from behind in all of its glory. It's kind of a massive double standard.
Mm.
Well, at least
When it comes
Nintendo.
to that.
At least we haven't got don't get caught on the horizon anymore. So
Yeah.
I think we've
Well,
all been
Nintendo are the
saved.
ones that are actually being like really lax, and their sales in Japan are like huge, because
Yeah.
obviously, the portable market in Japan's always been big anyway.
Yeah.
And then obviously the fact of like, hang on, why am I buying my games on this system that's censoring them when this company is just allowing the ratings board to actually do its job?
Yeah. Yeah, games shouldn't be, let the rating boards just do their jobs, and we're all adults at the end of the day. You know, if we want to play something, we'll play it. If not, we won't play it. So it's simple,
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's it. I think no one's got an issue with doing it that way, because that's the way it was always handled. But you've kind of got this weird, I don't know, like this, like, oh, it's not the global standard or something. It's like, what is the fucking global
Every
standard?
country has its own standard at the end of the day.
Yeah,
different cultures.
But
do
they're
different things.
trying to impose
standard,
that
yeah.
one standard across the entire fucking world, and it's like, it doesn't work like that.
No.
Like, you can't impose one law across every single country in the world. It just does not work. And good luck if you try that in the Middle East.
Who?
So, yeah. That's really roughly all I've been able to sort of play this week. I'm hoping that once the temperatures cool down somewhat, I'll be able to sink far more time into like Ghost and stuff. Because I think we're on a little bit of a gaming lull now until sort of like September time, when the stirrings of the new systems and whatnot start turning up.
Well, I just
We still
watched.
haven't had anything of that, have we?
I just watched a video review. Of that Terminator game. I got a 4 out of 10 from IGN, mate.
It looks good then.
Yeah, 100%.
I was
good.
on. No, I was not. I wasn't on about the mainstream media, because I generally don't pay much attention to their shit anymore.
Oh yeah, same bit. Yeah,
Just generally listen to user reviews and stuff from actual like
people,
YouTubers, people
real
like that.
people.
Incels.
I'll have to pick that up because normally those kind of games are brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's
do love bad
basically
games.
from what most people who played it sort of like, they gave it around about a 7 and said like it's decent, but it's not amazing, sort of a
Oh.
thing.
Game of the year.
One of those kind of B-movie games.
Yeah, as in like you expect it to be really shit, but it's actually all right, kind
Deadly
of thing.
Premonition. That's an example.
Yeah, well, I think Deadly Premonition kind of got the whole reputation thing from it being like it's so
Yeah.
bad it's good,
Yeah.
which is an actual thing. So
That Terminator
yeah.
Resistance game's on Steam. 35 quid.
Go on,
Look
do
at
it.
yeah, I think it was that same price on like on the consoles as well. It wasn't like a
Oh,
full
you know
full
what?
price thing, but it was...
I have to apologise to you, Darren. On Steam, the reviews overall are very positive. So yeah. There
What,
we
like
go.
6 out of 10?
Don't always listen to the mainstream media.
No.
See how much it is to buy.
A fantastic love letter to the Terminator films, especially T1 and T2.
In
I
all
reckon I can pick
fairness,
up off CD keys for cheaper.
yeah. In all fairness, I thought
Yeah, you
Terminator
should be able to
Genesis
pick
was
it up
alright.
for
So
about.
I've not seen the
Dude.
last film yet. The Dark Fate, whatever it's called.
And in your film card.
I enjoyed Terminator Genesis. I don't give a shit. All right.
23 quid.
Yeah,
I did,
Genesis. was alright. That was the one before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Dark
haven't
Fate
seen
was
Dark Fate. I've not seen
Dark
that
Fate was okay. It was alright. It was
Yeah,
on par with
Yeah,
Genesis.
it was. Dark Fate was. Yeah, it was kind of unnecessary, but
It's dead now anyway. It's no longer
Yeah.
coming back. No more
that was
Terminator.
like the final nail in the coffin.
Twen-
It'll come back, I think, eventually, but
Nah,
like
it's
maybe in
dead.
15
Dead, mate.
years or something.
Gone.
20
Gone.
quid you can buy it for on PlayStation.
Ding dong.
Ding dong, brand new. 40 sold, so someone's buying it.
Boom.
I'd say like pay 15 if you're interested. I wouldn't pay over 20 quid. Like it's not like a super amazing title, but it
I ain't
did,
got time
like I
to play
say,
anyway.
get kind of reasonable sort of
Mm.
reviews from people.
Cool.
Although the game, like you say, looked pretty
Mm.
shitty. Like
I just want to see some action. There we go. Yeah. Okay, and played anything else?
no, that's basically it.
Really?
Until
Is that it?
I'll probably think of something else a bit later on. But
You
yeah, I've
usually
just
do.
sort of been working a lot and sweating
Yeah.
a lot, so I just sort of log in, do my usuals, and then switch off, kind of thing.
Do all your
Yeah.
dealers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Stunty, you got to save us now.
Yeah.
I've been playing stuff, but I've really struggled to. After I finished The Last of Us 2, I really struggled to get into anything, and then I went down a rabbit hole of playing Destiny 2.
Oh, goodness
my
me.
God.
At
And
least
also,
it's free.
yeah, it's free. And the only reason I started playing it is because my daughter started playing it. But the
What,
problem
on the
was,
PlayStation as well?
yeah, on the PlayStation as well. But the problem was, is my daughter did what she usually does, and that is like, you know, you have this, it's like a level you have, and I was level like 790, and it was like, I said, oh, what level are you now? I said to my daughter, and she was like, oh, I'm 920 already. I'm like, what? How can you be that high already? It's like you've only been playing it for like 2 days. Because yeah, I know, solid 2 days, sort of thing.
I haven't been
So
socialising with anyone.
yeah. So, and that was when I was at work. So it was like flipping out. So I'm struggling to catch her up. So I've dipped off that now. So I stopped playing that.
I have to admit, when I was playing Destiny 2, I did really enjoy it, but it was like the Division 2 for me, where the content dried up very quickly for me to want to carry on playing it.
Yeah, so I mean, the one thing for me is I had a little bit of fun with it, and I quite enjoyed it. I've not got up to 920, but I had a bit of fun with it, and now I've dipped off it now. Sort of got bored. So I got bored, and this is what I'm doing at the moment. I seem to be floating between games because I can't really get into anything that's really, hitting a nerve. So I then went on to another game that I've had for ages that I haven't played for a long time, and that was Plants vs Zombies. Battle for Neighborhood? I think it's what it's
Yeah,
called.
Battle for the Neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah, Battle for the Neighborhoods. Yeah, and I quite enjoyed that.
I loved like Garden Warfare 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
they were
I
awesome.
really enjoyed that. And then, like with that one, they were kind of like, "We're gonna do a games as a service," and I went,
yeah,
"You can fuck yourself." Like, and I never even touched it. And it came out earlier digitally, didn't it? Than it
Yeah,
did
yeah.
the
yeah.
Well,
Copy,
it
copy.
came
And
out.
it was like,
It was a beta.
yeah.
yeah, and then it was like, oh, if you play it at this time, you can get this unlocked, and then
Mm.
we're running this event at this time and this event, and I just literally thought, no, you can really fuck off with that game. Like, you're literally cramming everything I hate about modern gaming into a single title,
Yeah,
sort of a thing.
I know what you mean. I like it.
I
I mean,
imagine the game's still going to be fun, but the business model is just like the absolute worst, and I will talk about that with another game a bit later on.
right, okay.
That we'll probably mention that had a beta this week.
All right.
Oh, that one.
Right, I'll carry on then.
It's got a bit dark, isn't it?
I'm enjoying it, but I know what you're saying. I mean, it's got more of a campaign to this one, and they've made it a bit more open, the campaign. But the only thing that sort of puts me off is too many characters now. It's just you don't just get a character like you get a pea shooter. You get a pea shooter that you can then level up and change this and change that and change this, and you can do fire. You can do that.
Customization,
Yeah,
bollocks.
that's right. And it starts getting so. The problem is you can then it doesn't feel more of a level playing field now. You come up against someone, but you don't know what they're going to be, what kind of creature they're going to be. You think they're just a normal sunflower, but then no, they've got a super duper power, that blasts you, and that's it. You're dead.
You had it a little in the older games. I remember
Yeah,
the
it's
characters
worse now
the
though.
ice element used to like fuck you up pretty quickly
Yeah,
because they'd slow you down and stuff.
but it's all right. It's again, I'm floating between games at the moment. So as I said, I've been playing that quite a bit this week. What else have I been playing? Oh, they put Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on PS Plus. PS Plus.
PS Plus, yeah.
Yeah, so I started playing that. Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Still my favourite one of them all. It was just good to shoot people in the face, really. Next.
Yeah, so you didn't pick up Fall Guys then, Stunty?
Yes, I haven't got to that yet.
Oh, right, fair enough, sorry.
Going through the tiles on the PlayStation Store because that's my notes.
Last played, like, ding,
Right,
ding, ding.
okay. So I'm coming to Fall Guys, but I'm going to go to another game first that I played that was on PS Now. Woo!
Fucking hell, man.
Dead Cells. Wow, this was really good. I really enjoyed this from what I played of this. I did hear about this a while back. It's an indie game, which is a bit like a Dark Souls style game, but side scrolling. And I know you played it, Webby, haven't you? And it's really good, isn't it? Dead Cells?
Yeah, it's actually really old now.
Yeah.
I think it's over 2 years old on PC. I picked it up. I
Hmm.
think I got it in a Humble Bundle.
Right.
And yeah, I played it for a good few hours of it, but you die a lot. It does
Yeah,
get
I
very
think
hard.
you'd like it, Dan.
I didn't play it.
It is
It's,
it
it's
is a game that
basically
Dan
like
would
a really hard Metroidvania,
Yeah,
but
it
with
is,
like
yeah.
progression and stuff.
with really
And,
nice
like, a lovely
pixel
sort of
graphics.
Pixel graphics,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah.
Yeah,
I think it's on.
good.
I saw it pop up on Game Pass a couple of times, but I never really.
Yeah, it is on
Dabbled.
Game Pass.
It's
yeah, or
really
was.
good. It is very, very good game.
Okay.
I think
The
it's
Chivo,
about-
are the Chivos easy?
Don't know.
Well, the trophies, which are probably the same as the achievements anyway. You get a couple. Oh, how many have I got? Got 3 so far. So,
No, that's
so
shit then.
no, it's not brilliant. No, I mean compared to Call of Duty, I mean I started playing Modern Warfare, and I think I got. How many did I get on that one? Oh, I've got 3 on that as well. Okay, so there we go. And then Fall. Oh right, yeah, Fall Guys. Yeah, I got 9 on that.
Fall Guys. What is this Fall Guys? I've never
Right,
even heard of it.
Fall Guys is
Oh.
brilliant. It came free with PS Plus this month. It is brilliant. It's in the art style of like, was it Brawl Out or something like that? That kind of style where you're but you're not wobbling about all over the place. It's just that kind of sort of graphic style. But do you ever remember the TV program? It's a Knockout.
Yeah. With
Hell
the
yeah.
paedophile, with the paedophile
Yeah.
in charge of it, yeah.
Really? Was
Stuart-
that? Wasn't, who was
yeah.
that then? Who was in charge?
Stuart
of
Hall. Stuart
Yeah,
Hall.
he was. Yeah, he's
I
a
remember that.
dodgy man. Dodgy
Right,
man.
okay. Well, it doesn't have him in it.
No, that's quite good for that.
Get him as an unlockable outfit.
Oh, so it's like a game show thing where you got like this. I'm watching a video where there's like
Right,
about
but it's
50 dudes all running through this
Right.
weird obstacle course.
Well, no, wait, well, let me start. It's a battle royale game. So basically, it starts with 60 players. So
Oh,
what will
wow.
happen is you will have loads of different courses. So you've got to try and get to the end of the map. But you have all these things. You'll have wheels that are, coming across from you. You have ramps that disappear on you. You have doors that will appear, then they will disappear. And what will happen is it will say the first 40 that get to the end, they're through to the next round. If you're not the first 40, you're eliminated.
This
And then
looks cool.
Yeah, so then what will happen is at the ends of that actual mission, you'll have like I don't know if you ever remember the TV program Mastermind, where you get all these
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or I think there was a comedy sketch. I can't remember what it was. And you see them all up on this board, and then you see all the players disappear off it. Now you can then continue watching if you disappear off it, or you can just push the circle button and just leave the game and then start another game.
Is this a PlayStation exclusive?
No, it's on
PC.
Steam.
Is it?
It's on PC.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
but the missions are brilliant. There is also missions where you play with a group of other players. So what will happen is, say there's 40 in you, they will split it into 4 teams, so you would have 10 in a team. But one of the missions was absolutely hilarious because what you would have is you would have 4 goals on a map, right? They're all 4 different colours, and you'll be a colour. So say you're blue. So what you have is you have a load of balls in the middle. You've got to grab the balls and put them in your net. So what happened is, what everyone did is they went out to the middle, grabbed all the balls, and put them in their net. But then someone realised, why don't I just grab the balls out of that person's net and put them in my net? What happens is, right, you've got one team that's got 20 or 15 because they've got 15 balls. Next thing you know, you see their balls start dropping because everyone's nicking all their balls out of their net. So you end up with this big where everyone's just nicking balls. Yeah, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? But it's just hilarious. And then there's another game where you have to have the tail on your bottom, right? So you have to run around with this towel on your bottom, and then it's a bit like musical chairs, where when the actual game ends, you've got to have the towel on your bomb. Otherwise, that's it. You're out of the game. So you've got all these players running after people, trying to jump onto them to grab their tail. So it's a really funny game. It's brilliant because it's free, which is what I like. And this is also season 1, so there is going to be updates to this game. So it's probably
And
going to be
battle
extra bits.
pass.
Probably.
Don't know, no idea. I mean, I haven't won in this game yet, which is really annoying because a few people I have seen have actually won. That's it. Yeah, the guy in the chat just said Gang Beast. That's the name I was trying to think. Gang Beast style. That's what it looked like. Yeah, Gang Beast. But it's funny. It's I do play it for a little bit, and I do get frustrated though because you can get bits where you've got to jump up onto like a block, and then you jump from the block to something else. But then when you've got like 30 other people all jumping onto the block, it pushes you off the block. And then you start to get, wound up, and you start to swear. So the missus comes in and has a go at me because I'm swearing at the telly. So as you do. So, but no, it's fun little game. That's probably the game that's really sort of kept me playing the PlayStation at the moment. 'Cause really much that's really grabbed me.
Did you suffer any of the server issues on launch? Because I know like so many people were trying to play it.
Yeah, I did.
The servers were struggling and stuff.
Yeah, I did have one night where it just kept disconnecting. I got in once you got in the game, it was fine, but it was just trying to get in the game. I think a couple of times, but it wasn't that bad. But I did hear of people that couldn't get into it at all, and said, "Right, that's it. If I can't get into it, I'll just delete it." But it's one of those.
I mean, it's a brand new game on like I know it was release day as well. That it was having a ton of stuff, and you think free game on the day it's come out. Like you get MMOs that come out on the first day and they don't anticipate the amount of players all trying to log in and stuff. So you run into issues.
Well, I just had a look on the Steam store and it's 16 quid.
Yeah.
And they've got a notice up on the store page saying that they're looking at increasing server capacity because they're having issues. So
it's been huge anyway.
It's been massive.
It came out.
It was bigger on Twitch than Call of Duty this week.
Wow.
Well, it's the kind of game that looks so silly, and there's so many people that you can watch it and be entertained.
Yeah.
And it is a kind of game set up for, dare I say it, esports in a sense as well. Like you said with the seasons, with a game like that, it kind of makes sense that you'd have that, and you'd probably have like unlockable outfits and stuff for people who maybe end up top of leaderboards at certain seasons and such. It just looked like I saw the trailers for it and I could see the appeal.
Yeah, no, it's a good game. I'm trying to think what else I played. That's it really. Oh, the only thing I will just say is I have been busy building my man cave.
Your man shed.
Yeah,
man shed.
I've been really busy with that. I must admit, this week it's built. It's just got a little bit of cladding work to do on the front. Done all the doors. I can't finish the inside because I've run out of money. Because I've got plasterboard it, and also plasterboard's really hard to get at the moment because of this coronavirus that's causing problems.
Just some asbestos, you'll be fine.
So what I've done is I've actually put some of my game stuff in there already, just because I needed to get it out of places that were in other places because I've got other things to do on the house. So I've actually put my CRT TV in there, put it on a table, and I've put my PlayStation 1 set up in there. I want to get some of my other stuff out, like the Sega Saturn, because I've got a couple of bits of that I've picked up over the last couple of months. So I actually am going to just set up a little game room in there, but it won't be how I want it, but just as a temporary thing, just to play some bits and bobs. And I did actually go through my 360 games, actually, because I pulled out a load of them. And I was actually really surprised, actually, because I pulled out all the Xbox One games I own, physical. And do you know what? I was surprised at how many Xbox One games I own. I probably only own about 11 games. And then I looked at my 360 games and I looked at the exclusives on the 360, and it was already it was like 30 to 40 games.
Yeah.
It just tells you how poor Xbox has been this generation on their exclusives. You know, like the Left 4 Dead's 1 and 2. There was loads of other bits and bobs.
They're technically not exclusive though, because I was on PC, so.
Yeah, but they were exclusive to
I
certain.
suppose they're third-party exclusives,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
suppose, or
you think
platform
like-
exclusive.
Yeah.
You think PlayStation? You've got Horizon Zero Dawn. It's exclusive. It was. but
That's on
it's now
PC now.
PC.
I've actually just
That's right.
downloaded that today on my
It's
PC,
had-
actually.
I've seen it's got loads of fucking issues on the PC. People have been
Yeah, I've
saying
heard
like
that as well.
Well, I'll
there's
let
a
you
load of
know.
problems with it.
I'll let you know.
It looks the same, but in ultra wide. Play it in ultra wide, can't you?
Oh, it's
and
been nice
obviously
to play it in
over-
better graphics, mate.
Better FPS. Well, same graphics, but
Better
better
graphics, better FPS. Master Race.
So no, I'm pleased it's built. The only thing is I've got to sort out the heat on it. 'Cause I went out today and came back and opened the doors, and Jesus Christ, it was hot in there. It was like a sauna in there.
Yeah, the thing is, though, with the shed, it's going to be really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter.
Well, yeah, I've got to insulate it, which is I started to insulate it, but I ran out of the insulation stuff that I'm using. There's other work still to do on it with the electrics and stuff because I'm just running the extension lead from
Yeah.
the garage to
That's
it.
fair, yeah.
I've run out of
do
money.
they still use glass to
They
insulate,
use
or
what?
have they changed now?
Sorry.
I said, do they still use fiberglass insulation, or have
No,
changed
they
to
use a
something else
glass.
now?
They do use. I don't think it's fiberglass. They do use a glass. They use old bottles now, don't they, for like an insulation, don't they? I mean, but the main stuff you use is called Celotex. That's the best stuff to use. That's a proper insulation, but that's expensive. But as I say, yeah, it's just the one thing I like now is I'm able to go through some stuff, which is what I've wanted to do for a long time, and actually see what I own.
Which is too much.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, well, I've come across stuff already that I'm like.
Yeah, but what I don't understand about you, Stunty, is you are a hoarder and you still go to car boots and buy more crap.
Yeah, because I need this. I need my stock levels.
You can mix and match stuff up. But I see people on YouTube that do the same as Stunty, and then every sort of 6 months they'll get out all of their systems, test that they're all working, mix and match the parts together, clean them all up, and then sell them on eBay
Good
and
old
make money
eBay.
off of them.
Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of stuff I need to shift. I mean, but as I say, it's the right time. I'm busy with the shed doing that, but I do need to probably be busy in the winter. I mean, I've probably got. I mean, I looked the other day and I've probably got about 15 to 20 PS2s. You know, yeah. I've got
That's
so many.
insane.
Yeah,
That's
but I
one
need
of your
to.
SNESes.
Yeah, but the PS1s. I've probably got about 30 of them laying around. But I've got to find the controllers because they're all scattered in other places. The problem is you need to sit there and test them, but you can't just test them for a couple of minutes. You've got to test them properly, make sure all the controls
Make
work,
sure
they've got clean-
games load and everything.
Yeah, so it's not as I mean, I know someone that owns a shop. They call the Retro Hunter. He's got a shop
Yeah.
over in Southend,
Yeah.
and
Well, his
you know-
Twitter account is always, I'm taking the afternoon off today. I'll be closed. Yeah, he's a lazy fucker.
I don't know. I think he did struggle because of the whole Corona thing as well.
Yeah.
you
No,
know,
I'm talking about before the Corona.
Oh,
All his
okay.
tweets would be like, "Yeah, I'm off this afternoon. I'm closing up the shop. I'm doing things."
You do like with certain shops that are specialists. You will have like the entire mornings when no one even walks in, and you just think, why do I even bother coming in? Sort of a thing.
It makes you
As I
wonder how they
say-
make money. Yeah.
Well, they must do. I mean, you think otherwise they wouldn't succeed, would they? Really? I don't think they make that much money. These retro shops. I mean, there used to be one near me actually, but every time I used to go in there, the prices were always the same price as eBay, and I thought, well,
Yeah.
why would I buy it in there if I can get it on eBay?
Well, because you're
Yeah,
there. And,
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to see it, but
Support your
Nice to see.
local shops, Stunty. Support your local
Yeah.
shops.
well, it's not there now, is it? It's gone.
Ah.
It's been gone for a few years.
Yeah.
I did rinse it before it went. Just you
Like bought the cheap shit and then sold it on eBay, yeah.
No, I bought some PS2 stuff in there. They had some limiteds, quite rare.
Which is still in your house.
Yeah, oh yeah, too right. Yeah, still somewhere. I'll probably never play it. So, but I might do one day. I mean, I do pull out stuff and play it. I think this is dog shit. Why am I keeping this? And just get rid of it. So,
You
but
It's like
Sneak King.
Landfield, mate.
Yeah. So, but Retro's really big at the moment. It's got even bigger since this lockdown.
It's because everyone knows it's like the certain games are worth a hell of a lot of money now.
Yeah, I mean, Hogarth put a thing up for me about the PS3 stuff, and I was really surprised.
Yeah,
on
the
some of
games.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I looked up some of them, and some of them are really creeping. I mean, I looked at El Shaddai.
Oh,
And that-
great game.
Yeah, that's like £35 now. That game to buy.
I wouldn't sell that. It's too good.
No, I know. I've got it anyway on the play. I've got it on the
It's
PlayStation 3 and the Xbox.
the niche title, isn't it? There's
Mm.
not like
It's
we
about
said before,
God.
It's not like a Call of Duty or a
It's all the Christians buying
sort
it.
of EA Sports title where you're
Yeah.
going to get a ton
The
of
end of the
people
world's
just
coming.
buying the game and
Repent,
flooding
repent.
the shelves with it like the next year for the latest update. These are sort of like just rare niche games that
Yeah.
sort of like
For some
But we-
reason, it's more
Sort of
expensive
like
on the
more
PS3 than on the Xbox.
Why is that? I
don't
don't. I
know.
can't.
It's
probably
eight-
less copies.
Yeah, it's £8 on the Xbox, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing them sold on the PS3 for like 18, 19, 20 pound
Yeah.
plus.
But there's a few bits.
Blu-ray
I
disc?
mean,
I don't know.
yeah, it could be because the Blu-ray discs compared to the Xbox 360 discs are so much better. The Xbox 360 discs are garbage. I mean, the amount of them I see at car boot. I pick them
God,
up.
you're such a fanboy.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah, but they weren't made very well, were they? The 360 discs. They
I don't
cracked.
know.
I've never had an issue with the 360 disc to be
You
Yeah,
haven't
honest.
right.
seen that?
Used
Oh,
to just be the system that wouldn't play them.
No,
But
in
they
all,
think
in all
that's an
fairness, I've had
Xbox
more
trait in
problems with my
general.
PS3 than I did my Xbox 360. The PS3 was so fucking needy. It was like, I need an update. I don't want to give you a fucking update. I want to play the fucking game. Oh, I need a fucking update. And then you fiddle around the fucking menus to find the right fucking button because it's not fucking obvious. Bag of shite, mate.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the discs. The amount of times I go to car boot.
I know, that's when I was trying to play a disc.
No, but I'm just saying. No, but the discs on the 360 are terrible. They get hairline cracks on them. I've noticed that as I'm more. And more.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was one I had hairline crack. on, actually,
Really bad.
Where it would sit in the inches of the actual case.
Could it be
Can't
that you
remember
were
what
really
game
angry,
it was.
Switch, and then you basically just broke it?
No, it was. I think it'd be where I'd taken it in and out so many times.
Well,
I
hey.
can't remember. What it was.
Woohoo!
But then, I mean,
But
this
yeah, no,
morning,
that does ring a bell. The cracks thing.
this morning I picked up a load of 360 stuff, and I had to put half it back because it just had. You saw hairline cracks all in the middle. I think the biggest problem is that people used to use the 360s, and you got to remember it was running off the discs before people started to install them. And then what happened is people turned the Xbox off, and the disc was still in there, and it just stayed red hot, didn't it?
I never do that.
No, I know, but there was a lot of people
I
who
always
did.
take-
I never had a
out.
problem with any of my Xbox games, mate. And I've got loads.
Yeah, but you probably rinsed it in about a day. The game.
Yeah,
then,
yeah, probably.
Yeah. So when some people, will play stuff for months because they only play one game for months.
It's
So
because they have lives.
yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Oh, wicked. Right, I'm going to go through mine then. I completed 2 games this week. Even though I've been saying I've not been gaming much this week because it's been hot. You there, Dan? Are you alright? I heard you say
Yeah,
something.
all right.
He's
Okay.
just fell off his chair, isn't he?
No, I'm just chewing a polo.
Oh.
Polo.
How
Yeah.
much are they now for a pack of polos?
I got two
Two for a
sugar-free
pound.
ones for £1.
Oh,
So I still
those
remember when they were
chemicals, mate.
10p.
you don't want all
No,
those
mate, it's all
chemicals.
P a pack of polos.
Like a polo.
Yeah, I
Don't
like
eat-
polos.
Don't eat a whole pack though, because you'll get the shits.
Yes, I found that out. When I was younger, I bought a lot, 2 or 3 packs of sugar-free polos and was like, yes, these are fine. These are going to be great. Like, there's no sugar or way less sugar. And then, like 3 hours later, I was like, yeah, it's not like, what's
Right.
going on?
Shits, they're so small.
That's what she said. Right, let's go into the games then. Okay, so first game I completed this week is an amazing game, Yakuza 6.
Are you done with the Yakuzas now?
Well, 7's out this year, isn't it? So I'm going to be picking that up.
You
Okay.
got another one then for you,
Yeah,
Dan.
yeah.
But that's a whole new storyline, a new character, and all that. So Yakuza 0 to 6, so there's 7 games, and they're all about 30 to 40 hours each. I've done I've completed all of them on the PS4 because I've released all of them on the PS4. It's been.
I'm still missing 2.
I know you're missing. I'm missing Dead Souls and I don't know what the other one
Ishin.
is. Yeah, but they don't count because they're not mainline.
Webby,
Yeah.
Webby, you're such a PlayStation fanboy.
I know.
I know.
So I actually own 7 PS4 discs, which is pretty cool, isn't it?
Amazing.
Yeah. So I've completed all of them on the PlayStation 4, all within the last 2 years, really. So that's pretty good going, I think. And oh my god, it's such an emotional ending to the whole series.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, I don't know because I know Stunty's played and completed Yakuza 6, but I think the experience has been slightly different for me than most people that have played the Yakuza series because I've played all of them in order in such a short space of time.
I don't know how you did that because I can't. I mean, if I play one and finish it, I can't go straight into the next one because it'll fry my brain. So,
Yeah, well, I've completed Yakuza.
You haven't been brought up on years of JRPG,
yeah.
haven't you?
Well, I've completed Yakuza 3, 4, 5 and 6. From when did the discs come out? February, I think they came out, that collection with 3, 4 and 5. So from February to now, I've completed, 4,
I mean,
3, 4,
in
5
all
and 6.
in honesty, mate, you were locked down for fucking months on end, barely doing your job, playing Yakuza.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Still doesn't do his job, does he?
Yeah. No, and to be honest, it's a great series. I've really enjoyed it. The thing is, though, I haven't, because you could spend 100 hours in each game if you want to do all the side quests and explore, do all the mini games. I couldn't be fucked with all that bollocks. I just mainline the campaigns and the games are still like 30, 40 hours just doing the main campaign. So that's what I was playing them for. And I've enjoyed the whole experience. What I'm going to find weird with 7 is they've actually got in some English voice actors. So that's going to be weird. Yeah. So I will still be playing it in Japanese because I've played all the other games in Japanese. Which.
But just think that's quite a bit of hard drive space taken up by unwanted
Yep.
shite.
I know it doesn't matter, mate. Anyway, so
I can see why, maybe, because there
to
are
get-
still people I know that don't touch certain games unless
get
they're
a bigger
dubbed
audience.
or whatnot.
Yeah, and that's fine. But just going into Yakuza 6, the whole story was absolutely amazing from start to finish, and they added a whole new area. One thing that I did notice is the new area, the graphics didn't seem as good as the main city, because the main city's been through all the games, and it felt a bit like I'm on a PS4 Pro on a 4K TV, and it was like everything is shimmering, like all the lines are not straight, when you walk, and it's like
Yeah, it wasn't brilliant, was
Yeah,
it? I got
yeah.
past it in the end, to be honest. It
Yeah.
didn't look like it was that polished, did it,
no,
that game?
no,
No.
not that section.
They are from the last gen anyway.
No,
aren't
this
they?
one's
Apart
made.
from-
No, Yakuza
it's
0 and 6
6,
are PS4 games, yeah.
Oh
they're
yeah,
PS4 games.
6 is, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was on
um,
about the remastered one. Sorry, like the.
Yeah, no. The remastered ones. I mean, they still look good. They're PS3 games, but I loved 6 because the thing is that people always ask me on social media is should I start with 0 and play them in order, and I'm yes, 100%. You need to play them in order because the story carries on from the end of the previous game or every single time. So you need to play them in order, and they cover multiple years. Like the first game's set in like the 80s, so then it goes all the way into like 2012. So it's the main character Kiryu. It's like his journey through life. He's in the Yakuza and he tries to leave the Yakuza, but he keeps getting pulled back in. And then in the later games, it's a lot of the young and up and coming guys in the clan are trying to change things, and they have less honor and all this stuff. And Kiryu and the old guard are like, no, we do things a certain way for a reason, and all this sort of stuff. And it's, the game actually is very deep. It has a lot of meaning, and in a lot of places, starting to agree, it's really fucking cheesy.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
got to take it with a pinch
Yeah.
of salt, that game, to a
But-
certain degree.
yeah, but it has a lot of heart, you know, and
Yeah.
you do get attached to all the characters because you spend a lot of time playing as the characters, and you know, in some of the middle games you don't just play as Kiryu, you play as other characters, but even characters you don't play as, you know, you kind of get attached to, like in like throughout the series he because he leaves the Yakuza, well, attempts to, and then he starts running an orphanage, and he has all these kids, so there's a lot of stories about how he's trying to bring up these orphan kids and all the stuff that they get up to and all that, and it's just really, really cool to see, really. And when I finished Yakuza 6, I just sat there and I just couldn't believe that I did not cry. I didn't cry. I might have shed a little tear, because
I must admit, it was
yeah.
quite.
Red
Yeah, it
lips.
was like, this is the end of an era, isn't it?
It
Really?
was, yeah, and for me, like,
It was emotional.
it was, even the missus was watching me play and was like, oh, this is pretty emotional, and there is a big twist at the end which I thought was really, really cool, but it was still really sad, and it just felt like, because I've played so many hours of playing as pretty much this main character, and the way it ended, and you know, it was just like, wow, you know, I felt like I've lived through his life with him, you know, and it was just a really emotional end to a saga, and as I said, it's probably up there as my favourite game series of all time now. It was just this game series is worth me buying a PS4 for, just for these games. I know they're now slowly trickling out on the Xbox and the PC, but you know, main reason to have
And
a
I
PS4.
think originally Sega didn't have really much hope in them doing very well outside of Japan, did they?
No, and an interesting thing about Sega, because Sega was on a downward spiral before the first game was made, and the creator of the original Yakuza had been trying to pitch the idea for the game for a long time, and the upper management were like, no, it'll never sell, blah blah blah, and it got to a point where the creator said, look, if this doesn't sell well, I will quit my job. And that's a big thing in Japan because,
Fair enough.
you know, it's not like the UK where you change jobs every couple of fucking years. You know, you have a job for, you know, pretty much your whole life. You know, it's a big thing. So, so he put his livelihood at risk, and you know, he made a masterpiece, I would say, with the first Yakuza.
It's also, I think, like
series.
Yeah, they're not particularly looked upon too favourably in Japan, the Yakuza in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Although I think, like, there are good parts to it, if
Mhm.
you know what I mean. Like, with any organised crime, there's always a little bit of giving back to the community in some form.
Yeah.
But I know, obviously, like, you've got the thing, like, if you've got tattoos, you can't go in any of their open baths and stuff over there,
Yeah.
because tattoos are a mark of the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Right.
So as a tourist, because most Brits have tattoos, you can't go in a bath in Japan.
Bath, did you say?
Yeah.
Like, open baths. I think you
Oh.
can go in certain ones, but it
Okay.
can't be an open public bath,
Yeah, like
like
swimming
hot
pools or
springs and
yeah,
things like that.
Right, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just fascinating because the actual city of Kamurocho is set in Tokyo, and it's actually set, you know, it's based on real world location as well, and there's a lot of landmarks, and there's people that actually were really into the Yakuza series who actually go and do like a little tour around to all the locations that they've been in the game, which is really
it's-
fascinating. I've watched
It's
some on
crazy,
YouTube.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't realise that. I knew that obviously with certain things, like obviously Lord of the Rings, you get loads of people go to New Zealand
Yeah.
to check out all the different bits and bobs. But there's like an area in Japan, like a little local area, where apparently this anime called Girls and Panzer was basically all taken inspiration from like places around the area. They even brought a game out on the Switch and PS4
Mhm.
like about a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
And they get like people that just go there in droves to visit all these
Wow.
locations from like an anime series.
That's crazy,
So
isn't
much,
it?
in fact, that they've embraced it, and they've actually got like the characters from the series and stuff outside tourist
Oh,
boards,
that's
and they're
awesome.
on the sides of buses and stuff.
That's cool. You know,
Yeah.
and that's fantastic. Yeah, and for me, it's just quite. I mean, I know obviously it's all made up and all that sort of stuff, but it's just an insight into another culture, because you can see that a lot of the customs and things are just they're based on real life, and the honor and all that sort of stuff. So I just found it a fascinating series to play, really. So yeah, great series, and I recommend anyone play it. And, you're gonna have to be insane like me if you want to do all 7 in a row, but I loved every minute of it. Wouldn't change it for the
You
world.
can either pick them up pretty cheap, or you can get Game Pass, which I think at least 2 or 3 of them are on now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Have they
you
got
choose
Zero,
a-
Kiwami 1 and 2?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can play and get some Chivos along the way.
The have you ever played one, Dan?
I had Yakuza 3, I think, on the PS3.
Oh, right, okay.
And I think I had 4 on the PS3 as well,
Mm.
which I ended up selling on because I didn't really get into them.
That's fair.
It was, it was. Just, I was picking up a load of stuff for the PlayStation at the time, and they ended up gathering dust. But I think I made money on them actually. I got them really cheap, and I made money on them when I sold them on. So, not the end of the world.
Cool. Right, shall I move on?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Okay, so I completed another game actually for the second time. Man of Medan, the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan. So it's actually come to Game Pass, but I was a little bit annoyed because I bought this in a sale about 3 or 4 months ago, and me and the missus decided to sit down and play it early this week, and then literally 2 days after we completed it, it came to fucking Game Pass, didn't it?
Well, you should have played it sooner.
Should have done, yeah, but I'd already played it once on PC.
It was reasonably cheap anyway, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
£20, £20-something game,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
yeah.
like the first part as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
In a
yeah. So I bought it. I think I bought it on
series.
an Xbox sale for about £6 or something ridiculous. Anyway, so, but because I'd already played it on PC on my own, but I wanted to get it on Xbox to play with the missus on the TV. So we picked it up, and it's really cool the way it's done actually. So you can have up to 4 players playing it, just passing the controller, so you can take control of different characters, or you can play it online 2-player co-op as well. So me and the missus were playing it 2-player, just pass the controller, and we had an even amount of characters each. Now throughout the game the characters can die permanently, so it's a bit, I think it's made by the same people that did that PS4
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, yeah. So it has like a similar vibe, and now it's on Game Pass. I would recommend people play it because it's not very long. Because it's one of those games that's meant to be sat down and just enjoyed for about, I think it's like 3 or 4 hours long. So it's not too bad. It's all uses real world actors, quite famous actors, and it's just really really well done, and it's made for if you want to replay it, and do things differently, etc. Because there's a lot of choices throughout the game where certain things can happen differently. I will do a little spoiler. So if you don't hear this little spoiler, just fast forward.
It's been out a while. It's been out a while.
So
although it has just come to Game Pass,
Yeah.
so
Okay, so I'm going to give a tiny spoiler as to one thing that I noticed between my 2 playthroughs. So near the beginning of the game, there's a choice to send a certain player off on a boat, and you can do that, and you won't see him again throughout the rest of the whole game until the end. Or if you don't send him on the boat, you play as him throughout the whole game. That's it. So it's like there's choices that do affect like that. There's also QTEs in the game, and they're actually very difficult. So if you're not concentrating or just like got the controller down on the side while you're watching a cutscene or whatever, you could miss a QTE and a character could die. So have your fingers at the ready. But it's really good. It's very spooky. It's done really really well. There is a sequel. It is meant to come out this year, but I think it's been delayed because of COVID. It actually has a trailer for the new game when you complete this game. So it's set in a spooky village. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's a great game, and I recommend you check it out.
I am surprised Sony didn't actually try and lock this developer down when they were buying up studios. Because
Yeah,
I think
know.
Until Dawn was It was niche, but I think the people who did get it did really enjoy it. And then they obviously made Rush of Blood on VR, which is still probably my favourite VR
Yeah,
game.
probably the best VR game in it. But they did get slated though, didn't they?
And Sony keep trying these
So
kind
much,
of sort of interactive story games, don't they? With like these weird ones you can play with your phones and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, some of them
So
are
I'd have
quite good though.
thought this. Yeah, I'd have thought this would have been like right down their alley to have as a developer to sort of do more interactive storytelling.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
or maybe
Cool.
they did offer them and they passed it up
Maybe.
because they wanted to get a bit more exposure on other platforms.
Yep, it's a great game. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the next one. Just very briefly, I'm going to talk about just very quickly. I started playing my Vita again, trying to play it. Well, I played a bit more Final Fantasy VI because I got about 10 hours in and then stopped like ages ago, and then I picked it back up again and I played about another 6 or 7 hours of it, and I'm back into it. I'm really liking it. It's renowned as one of the best Final Fantasy games, and it's one that I've never completed. So I do want to finish it at some point. I do have the PC version, but it just doesn't look right because it has like the updated cartoony graphics that the same as the
Oh,
film
yeah.
port. And I
Not
kind
the
of,
pixel.
yeah, and I like the true to life, the true art form of pixels, how it truly should be. So playing it on the Vita because it's the PS1 version, because it was originally on the SNES, and they ported it to the PS1, just the original version, and obviously that went to the Vita. So yeah,
Did it never end up on the PSP?
Yeah,
Because I know they stuck a few on the
think
PSP, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it did as well. But the Vita's, I haven't hacked my Vita, whereas I've hacked my PSP, so I can't. Yeah, I'm keeping my Vita stock, mate, because I've got a lot of games on there that I still want to play. So yeah,
It's just an awesome handheld.
it is.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
I like
because
the
I was
Vita.
playing it and I was thinking, this feels modern even now. It feels like a great little console. So
Have you got a Gen 1 Vita?
yes, I do.
Yeah,
I
so you've
do.
got the OLED screen and
Yes.
everything, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I can't believe they did that. They brought out another version with a shitter screen. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
They did it with the PSP as well, didn't they?
Oh.
Yeah, because the OLED one actually, the one that they brought out after that, it looks different as well. The actual the way you can.
Yeah, it's more
touch it as well.
plasticky and more
Yeah.
rounded, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
happened
got
with
some
the
proper
PSP as
weight
well.
to it, the original Vita, like the OG one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same with the PSPs, wasn't it? The original ones were really heavy, then they went really thin, didn't they? Because I've got Yeah, 'cause
Would the PSP Go, or was it just another version of the original PSP?
no, they got
Yeah, I've got like the PSP 3000 or something, one of the ones I ended up with towards the end, and it felt really plasticky and weird.
Yeah,
Oh, because
Yeah,
I've got a launch PSP as well, so I must be quite lucky.
Keep
yeah.
hold of them, mate. They're worth
Yeah.
money, like the
Well,
originals,
what was
because they got the
funny?
better stock.
Well, yeah, because I was looking online because I wanted to get another Vita to hack, and they're still going for over £100.
Yeah.
I can't
They're
believe
becoming rare.
Yeah.
People are really trying to track them down now because they're realising, hold on
Yeah.
a second, like these, and I reckon you'll probably pay twice as much for a Gen 1
it. Wow.
than you would for one of them
But
newer ones.
It's one of those systems I'd never sell, though.
The PSPs have done the same. Now they're starting to creep up in value now as well. I don't know why. It's just all that kind of stuff is just going up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky. I've got 3 of them.
Yeah, PSP's a great little system. Well, at least with the PSP, you can take the battery out. So if it dies, you can
Yeah,
buy a dodgy Chinese one off Amazon.
Yeah, some people have actually reported their PSP batteries have been expanding.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I've seen it before at car boot.
I'll have to double check mine actually.
Yeah, just take them out because I've got a load of PSPs. Well, I've probably got about 5 of them, to be honest to them. A few of them are boxed, but I always make sure that when they're put away, they're taken out. The batteries are taken out because I have seen it from the car boot where I bought one for a couple of quid, and the battery had actually pulled. It had actually lifted the
Oh.
screen.
Gutted.
Shit.
See, the
Yeah.
thing with the Vita is you can't take the battery out.
I think you can, but it's not easy, as in you've got to properly take it apart. But I'm not even sure what kind of battery it's in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So this is why I worry about the Switch, because the Switch is the same scenario. And I know people say, "Oh, you can change the battery on it," but it's not made like the PSP was, where you can just take the
Yeah.
panel off and change the battery. It's
Yeah.
you've literally got to take the thing apart. So, and that's why I worry about the Switch, because it is a handheld thing, but it has to,
Well, that's what I miss with phones because, one of the main reasons I change my phone is when the battery starts lasting about half a day. And
Yeah.
whereas with older phones, you could just be like, right, the battery's fucked. I'll just buy a new one off Amazon and slot
Swap
it in.
them out.
Yeah.
Or even if your phone locks up and you can't work out how to switch it off, you just pull the thing off and take the battery out and go, there you go, done.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. And do you remember, like, on some of the older phones, you could buy like bigger batteries as well? That would last. Yeah,
They don't want you buying new batteries to change your phone. They want you to buy a brand new phone.
I know.
Now.
Fuckers, no.
No,
Anyway.
the PSP and the Vita, I mean, I love them.
Yeah.
They're great little handhelds. I mean, I still use my PSP if I go on holiday camping somewhere and I take a film. It's because
the old UMDs. I've still got about 200 UMDs or something knocking
around. It's been like, I want to watch a film. I'm going to get out this 35mm print and load it up in my flat and then project it onto the wall.
Do you know why I take the PSP? Because normally I'm pissed. It's the morning after. I'm laying in bed, right, in the van, right? So I can just pick up the PSP, which is a tiny little thing. I'll put the headphones in my on, and it just plays. Instead of me having to hold a tablet or trying to rest a tablet against something.
That's why you buy a tablet case which can stand
up.
Stand. Yeah.
Look, I've got my reasons.
Okay. I mean, you could even get a Kindle at 50 quid.
Yeah, no, I remember in Game Station.
You've still got to buy the digital content, though. I've got it all already.
Yeah, true. I was thinking if you had the internet, you could stream Netflix or whatever, but there we go.
If there's no internet where you are, and most of the places I go to, there's no internet.
You can download. You can download films before you go.
Yeah, I know. I do it on my phone now with Netflix, so yeah, it contradicts that one.
So
back before
what was all that about
anyway? Dan.
Anyway, so we were saying that the PSP and the Vita are great systems, and I think Sony have made a little bit of a misstep not supporting the Vita anymore because it still works as a great system for streaming your PS4 games to it as well. Which is cool.
I think they lost the Western devs. I think mainly sort of stepped back from it, and then they were just left with sort of like the niche Japanesey stuff, which did support the system in Japan for at least another year and a half to 2 years.
Yeah.
But I think because the lack of the actual Western devs, they didn't think it was going to have much pull. Which is why it's always remained like a kind of like a smaller fan base system, but all the people that generally own them love it because they could see the potential behind it, and it's not looking like Sony are going to do another one.
Nah, no, they won't.
Well, you look at Persona 4 Golden, although now technically the PC has the best version of that game.
Yeah.
Because you've actually got Japanese voices in it. Which you never had in the Vita version.
Yep, I need to actually.
But that game alone was when a lot of people actually just bought a Vita to play that because it made such a lot of noise when it came out.
Yeah,
I really hope that comes out on the PS4.
I can see them porting that. If they've stuck it on the PC, I can see them doing a port of it to other platforms. It's money that they'd just be leaving on the table otherwise.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what they'd do? They'd probably port it after the PS5 is out, and then it'd become one of those last games on the PS4. And you get these kind of games that come out, the last games, and they're the ones that normally go up in value because no one buys them because they just buy a PS5 version.
Get in line, Paul.
Yeah, I will do. I always do. Got one eye on it, looking, hunting.
Eyeball Paul.
But I do want to play the bloody thing anyway again, because as I said, I had it on the Vita, but that's the only downer with the Vita was the memory card I had was the 60 gig, or whatever, not 60 gig,
64.
64, and it crashed on me because don't ever fill them up to the limit. And I lost
I bought one of the cheapy ones on day one, and because I bought all my games physically, I never even filled it up, by about a quarter.
I think you can only use a specific memory card in it, can you? Sony one or something.
You can't use anything else. It's those things again. They've put
bullshit.
yeah,
That
it's,
did put a lot of people off. They should have just sold the system with the memory cards attached,
they did that on the
at
PSP,
least.
didn't
Because
they?
you
Yeah.
needed one day one to actually save the game. You couldn't save anything unless you had a memory card.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, if you hack the system, you can put third-party cards in, but it's just stupid. You have to do that to use a bigger card. You know. But there we go.
And they're still pricey now, the cards.
Nah, you can get a micro SD card for like £10.
No,
No,
Sony
he's on
ones
about
are
like the
expensive.
no, for the Vita. The
Oh,
proper Vita
yeah,
cards
yeah,
are
yeah,
still
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, they are, mate.
some of them were like 120 quid, weren't they, when they were about?
I
Yeah.
think I paid 70 quid. I think for my 64, something like that, which was ridiculous.
No, it's redonk.
It still works.
yeah.
It crashed.
I can't remember. I talked about Control last week. In one of the last podcasts, which was 2 weeks ago, had I completed it in that before?
Yeah, I think
No.
No, yes,
you
no.
haven't completed
No,
it.
I
Yeah.
think you was still working on it, and you
Yeah,
said
you-
you just
you
wanted to
definitely
finish
had.
it. You was at the last boss.
Dan's at the
he was near the end.
Okay, so that's another game I've completed then.
All right.
I've already
Dan's
had
just
this,
like, no, move on.
move on. skip
Sorry,
the end.
yeah, so I just want to say I completed Control. It was really cool, and I'm looking forward to the Alan Wake DLC.
There you
The
go.
end. It was a good game. I really enjoyed it.
Do you know what? That reminds me of what I said to my dad today. My dad was going to go into a story about something today, and he said, "Oh, have I told you this story?" But yeah, you told me that. Next.
It's when you hear the same thing for the third fucking time, and you're like,
it's a bit.
oh.
It's a bit like when you
I've,
talk
I've
about
been
Animal
talking
Crossing,
about the same
Dan.
games for fucking like
you only
5
get
or
it every
6
2
years
weeks,
now.
mate. Yeah. You only get Animal Crossing every 2 weeks now, so it's
Yeah.
fine. And I
Anyway.
kept it short and sweet today, so fuck
Yeah,
you.
and I've kept Control short and sweet as well. Job
Yeah.
done. Okay. What?
News.
I was going to say, are you going to get the Alan Wake DLC then?
Yes.
Right,
Of course he is.
Of
Next.
course I will. Right. I played a new game which is absolute dog shit. A little game called Grounded on Xbox Early
Well, I've heard
Access.
everyone said this is supposed to be the best.
Yeah,
game
I've
ever, isn't it?
heard good things about this.
Yeah.
Well, they're all wrong. It's shite.
Really? Blimey, that's all I've heard. Is it, well, best game ever on the
I
Xbox.
think it's because I didn't really understand what I was doing.
Well, that's always the case. It's always the case with you. You don't understand anything.
So obviously it feels like Honey I Shrunk the Kids. The graphics are quite nice, and there's giant bug. Well, they're not giant because you're little, but they're, you know, the bugs are all bigger than you. But I got to this point. It's actually on the video now where there's like
Yeah,
this
see
big
it.
machine, and I have to get it to work, and I couldn't figure out what to do, so I turned it off.
All right, so you haven't really given it a proper.
No, and
Review.
now I'm looking at this video. This dude's he's made things where you can chop down bits of grass, and I didn't know. I couldn't figure out how to do that. So
It looks like a kiddified Rust.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Run
I
around
need to
with
give
the
it
tools
another
hanging
go.
out.
Apparently, you can play it in co-op, which might be beneficial because then I can play with someone who actually knows what they're doing, and they can show me how to make.
So you're
Things.
just you're advertising out there for someone to carry you through again.
Yes, please.
So is this an Xbox exclusive or is
Yes.
this on PC as well?
It's on PC as well. It's on Game Pass. On
Oh,
both.
right, okay. So yeah, but is this a Microsoft studio then?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yes, isn't this is it Obsidian?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I think
Oh, it's made
Yeah.
by the people who did Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Isn't it? Right,
Yeah.
okay, which I thought was boring, but there we go. Another game that everyone loved.
Anyway, so that's that.
Mhm.
Okay, and I did pump a lot of time into this is the last game. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Yeah, I know you're gonna say it's not. Well, I don't know. Yeah, shut up.
Where you landed? Were you furloughed for 4 months?
Yeah.
There
Well,
you
it's
go, game
actually
over.
well, it's not actually out yet. I've been in the.
Oh yeah,
beta.
because you've been furloughed.
So I just want to say it's very realistic, but I nubbed the settings down so I can actually fly the planes without, you know, having to press all the buttons. I've been using my flight stick, which has been
You
rather
can't push all the buttons. You're not flying like a proper plane then.
no.
You didn't go on a
But
course.
He's
I
flying
did-
like afterburner.
I did fly over my house.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
And
dropping your toilet shit
what's
out.
quite amazing is it has all the small airports. So I live pretty much right near Farnborough Airport, which is a small airport, and it's there, so I could take off from there and fly over my house within a minute. I was like, oh, nice.
Look for Rochester Airport, mate.
It'll be there.
And Shoreham Airport.
It'll be there. It'll be there. There's a lot of different planes, like small planes and big planes, like the airliners and all that stuff. It's very relaxing. The graphics are really good until you get really close to the ground, and it just looks like like when you go onto like Google Maps and you get close to it,
And you
it's
keep
really
zooming in.
blurry and it's like really flat. And
Yeah.
blurry. It's just like that.
I'm on Google Maps.
Yeah.
Old house I was at. I was looking at it, and I was going up and down the street, and I turned round the camera, and there was me walking up the street
Oh, nice.
with my face blurred out.
Awesome.
Have you
I swear-
seen the ones of like cats and stuff just staring at like
Yeah.
the thing where they were mapping the streets?
But yeah, you can do the views inside or outside. When you're up in the air, it does look absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure when this is coming to console,
So
but what I was quite interested before you jump in, Stunty, was I flew around London, and obviously like the major cities around the world, because I did Boston as well. The graphics on the ground are a lot better, but it's really intensive. So I mean, I've got a pretty beefy PC, but when I was flying around the major cities, I was struggling to get 30 FPS, and my CPU was just running at 100% the whole time. It's very.
It did
CPU
look super
intensive.
pretty when they showed the early footage for it.
Can you do loop to loop?
In the stunt plane, you can, but I mean, I've been doing some flying lessons, which has been
Oh.
really, really interesting. So
basically, if you do the main like proper, literally,
put it on
you're
super
going to
hard.
fly it properly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you actually go in the air and you actually fly for 3 hours to Spain?
yeah,
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
But basically, so you got to hold that, wherever in the sky, whatever they call it. I can't remember the word now.
Altitude.
Yeah, altitude. That's the one I was looking
yeah.
for.
I think you can just put it on autopilot and then go and eat your
Oh.
dinner.
See- See,
Can
this
you
is
get- can you
this,
get
this
the
is my
hair-
work.
Can you get the stewardesses in the front with you?
That's it. You just get your missus to dress up as a, as an air stewardess, and it'll be like
See,
you're a real
this-
pilot.
This is my worst nightmare because I know every single flight has 2 pilots on it, but if those 2 pilots go down, and then someone goes, "Does anyone know how to fly a plane?" and then this cocky shit gets out with, he's obviously one member of the PC Master Race, and goes, "Yeah,
I've been playing Flight
Oh.
Simulator.
flight simulator, I can do this."
Yeah, but
Oh,
if
you
you
go.
You'll
actually
have a
play
better
it,
idea than anyone normal.
yeah, but if you actually play it like on super realistic mode, you have to press all the knobs and the buttons. You have to know how everything works. You even have to know what to
Yeah.
say
So this is
to
this
the-
is the.
people on
Yeah.
the ground.
But you can always tell the guy who's put his hand up to fly the plane. He's done the nub mode. So
It's
Yeah,
too late to put it off.
I'd be
Well,
me. I'd be
put it
like,
off,
well, I've
then.
played on easy mode on the PC. Does that count?
So what? So if you play it on the proper mode,
Yeah.
do you have a flight run? You have to stay on that path.
I think so.
What happens if you go off that path? Do you end up getting exterminated?
you get
Nah.
you get
You get
you get
shot down for invading
Yeah,
enemy
yeah.
airspace.
Come along and shoot you down.
I don't know, mate, but it is,
I reckon you should. I reckon you should play it right. Put it on auto mode, right?
yeah.
Then get your parachute out and jump out the plane. Leave him up there.
Well, I
On
actually
auto.
did a run I did a flight from New York to Boston because they're quite close.
Right.
And it was actually the actual time it takes to fly there in real life. It took me. So I went all over the actual, all the scenery, like everything. It's the world map, and you can fly wherever you want, and it's like it's all the correct distance and all that. So it's it's for a sim nerd. It's brilliant. It's technologically, it's really really fascinating.
It
Can you
does look-
fly a Concorde?
Yeah, I was
There's
gonna
no
ask you, yeah.
Concorde in it, no.
No
Oh,
Concorde in it. Oh man.
that would have been fun because obviously
Yeah.
they're now decommissioned.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I think
man.
I don't know. I think there might be one out there still, but that's just on the special, isn't it? Or are they all gone now?
No, they're all
complete?
gone.
Oh, they are. Have all gone, have they?
Yeah.
no
well,
longer flying.
Well, it was. Well, I think it's a bit of a conspiracy because I had one that had an engine failure, right? And then they're like, right, the whole fleet's never going to fly again. And then you got other planes like the 737. How many of them have gone down with problems? You know, it's all a fucking conspiracy, mate. Because I didn't
Is it?
want.
Well, the 747 and that are getting
because-
phased out.
Yeah, because I
Dude.
didn't want a super fast jet to put everyone else out of business.
Yeah,
Well,
but
and also
there was
they
only a
weren't
handful of
environmentally
fucking
friendly, were
Concords,
they?
mate.
Yeah, I
Handful
know.
of Con-
but they were gonna-
handful
they
of
were scared.
Concords, one fucking flight route,
And they were expensive as
and they were
well.
Oh, yeah,
expensive,
yeah.
and they weren't
They look nice,
economical.
though.
They weren't a conspiracy. Stop being silly.
Anyway, Virgin are building a new plane, aren't they? That can do London to New York in like 4 hours. So we'll see how that goes.
That's less drinking time, isn't it?
I know.
Giant
It's part of the
trebuchet.
experience, isn't it? Having a long flight with
A long
screaming
flight,
kids.
free bar.
Yeah.
Did you hear about you can buy this game on physical and it
Yes.
comes with 10 discs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it.
So what
Yeah.
they're doing with this game as well, Stunt, I think it's a bit. I'm not really happy, to be honest.
Right.
So you can get it on Game Pass, which is cool. So it gives you the basic edition, but you
Yeah.
can buy a Super Ultimate Awesome Edition, which is £100, and all it gives you is a few extra planes and airports that have real working, stuff going on the ground. So in the basic edition, when you land at an airport, there's like no trucks driving around the airports or anything, but on the Awesome Edition there is.
Things you have to avoid.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what you're paying
Yeah.
for.
Isn't that half the fun, trying to hit the people on the ground waving you in?
That's part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
See if you can suck them into your turbines.
yeah, that's it.
I can see a lot of people interested. So, I mean, I remember what was the old one? There was one Microsoft did one before.
Yeah,
What was
Flight
that?
Simulator, I think it was like
Yeah.
2004 or something.
That's it. Yeah, I remember that. That was quite a popular game. So I can understand. Yeah, there will be a little community for this. And
I think,
fair play to them.
yeah, you know, and because there's another one called X-Plane, which is hugely popular on the PC, which is a very similar thing.
Can you do multiplayer on it and join up with your mates and
Yes, you can.
go and fly
Oh,
jumbo
wow.
jets around the world?
Yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Could you do
Well,
like that film? What was that film where the plane goes in the air and then another plane goes on top of it and it lands on top of it and then they get in the other plane? What was that film?
Probably Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, probably. Well, that'd be
yeah, it seems like something
Yeah,
crazy like Fast and Furious.
No, there was something like that. Oh no, it was the Batman film, wasn't it? It was the last one with Bane at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Yes, that was the film. Yeah. So
I mean, I would like to see them add military jets. That'd be cool, but
yeah, you want some F-15s, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or something?
Harriers and stuff.
that'd be
Well,
awesome.
they don't actually make the Harriers properly now, do they, the Americans? As far as I know, because they bought it from the English and they did fuck all with it.
Well, I think they've gone out of commission now because they're old technology, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Well,
they were great.
Yeah, they
at the
took the
time.
Vulcan out as well.
It's
didn't
all
they?
about the drones these days.
Yeah, you just got to send a drone out. You don't need you. We need is a dude on the ground with an Xbox controller. Job done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have any of you guys been to an air show?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah,
I've got-
They were fucking awesome.
I've got
Yeah.
a story about their show.
Oh
Got a
yeah.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
it goes on for a bit. It's quite bizarre. Where do I start? This goes surreal, by the way. A few years ago, I ended up being invited by my mate. He did some work for the Royal Air Force on their website, so I got invited along to this tent at Shoreham Air Show, where there was all kinds of dignitaries sat in this tent having dinner and snacks and drinks. So I dressed up for the occasion with a t-shirt and a set of jeans.
As you do.
As you do, we're sat at a table with loads of people in RAF uniforms with badges and shit. And obviously, me and my mate and one of my mates have had a few by then, so we're just trying to keep nice chat. It also turns out in the same tent we had Dame Vera Lynn, and Dame Vera. I mean, bless her cotton socks, but I've never forgotten seeing Dame Vera Lynn eat a slice of ham with a knife and fork. And then the odd thing about it was that it was a three-course dinner, and everyone had to get up in turns on tables to go and get a dinner. So off you go. You know, we were one of the tables near the end. Anyway, got to dessert, and they had apple pie and something else, and ice cream. There's three choices. So I just thought, fuck it, you can't have apple pie without custard and ice cream. So I was cheeky, and I said, yeah, no problems. Anyway, he gets the last person in the queue who was going out for his dinner, and it was Donald Sinden, Never the Twain. Do you remember him?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Stunty
Heard of
and
him.
Darren will know.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, and there was
Maybe.
no. Yeah, Donald Sinden. I'm probably showing my age here, and there was no pudding left. and he kind of kicked off slightly with a great big cheery face. But by this time I had apple pie ice cream, shitloads of fucking ale. I'd seen Dave Lynn eat a salad and a slice of ham, and then when I got outside and obviously stepped outside to get a bit of fresh air, I just stood there. There was this fucking Harrier jump jet facing me up in the air hovering, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on today? It's fucking weird. So that was my trip to an air show. Yeah, I highly recommend.
Yeah,
Totally recommend it.
Living in Farnborough, I've been to a few of the Farnborough air shows, and they've actually stopped it now because they say it's now too dangerous for the Red Arrows
Yeah, the
to
health
fly
and
over,
safety
because
and
the health
stuff.
and safety.
They stopped the flyovers a while back.
Yeah, and they've stopped they've stopped everything because they used to have stunt planes up in the air and all sorts of shit, and now it's
planes.
just it's not open to the general public anymore. It's shite.
I used to go with my dad because for British Aerospace, because my dad worked on the Harriers. He worked on the jump jets. Yeah, he worked on them. And as I say, we used to get free tickets, so we used to go to Farnborough and see the Harriers in action. That's it. I've still got, actually, they're somewhere. They're little ammo cases. They're empty. They've been used from the Harrier.
Oh wow, nice, pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I've got a few like big shell.
Yeah, they're bloody
cases as
heavy.
well.
They weigh a bloody ton. I must admit, they're up in the loft somewhere. I hope the loft's still.
Everything's up in a lot. It's literally a black hole of what was it? No, like pop trivia and nonsense, mate.
It's all about the sound for me when it comes to like the air shows, because I remember one of the ones we went to years ago. It might have been like somewhere like Biggin Hill.
Oh yeah.
Or something, and we went there on the day, and the traffic was backed up trying to get in, because obviously these are sort of quite remote places where they hold these air shows and stuff. And everyone was sort of getting out of their cars, because like they could hear, like in the distance. It's like, what is that? Like this proper low rumbling, sort of like you've never heard before, sort of like from sort of passenger jets and stuff like that. And then off in the distance, like not too far, but there was like the Vulcan, which is just like a beast of a plane. That I think it was mainly used for spying. But the noise that makes when it's like banking around is just like almost what you'd imagine like standing next to someone using a flamethrower, like kind of noise that makes cutting through the air.
Yeah, I went camping the other week in Kent, and bizarrely as it was, there must have been a private air place nearby, and there was we kept seeing Spitfires go overhead of us.
We've just seen a couple of older planes go overhead like the last couple of weeks.
Cool that was. It's like we had our own little sort of air show going on all weekend. You know, they were just doing flights up in the air, doing testing and the rest of it.
That's cool.
We used to get helicopters over here doing manhunts for people on the run.
We still get helicopter. I still get the old like the nighttime helicopter out with the light.
Yeah.
Every now and again.
I think
it is Medway, mate.
Cool.
The old ghetto bird, as they used to call it.
Should we go on to the questions?
Yeah,
can we just mention a little bit on the news? A certain
of course.
certain beta that happened this week.
Okay, well,
there's quite a bit of news this week, isn't there?
Oh, is
really,
there? Have I missed all the news? Because I've not been really around. Okay.
Dan, have you played the beta?
No,
What's
I
the beta
haven't.
called?
I've just
What
been
game is
judging
it?
people's reactions.
The Avengers. The Avengers beta. I haven't bothered with it because you had to pre-order it on PlayStation to play it.
Yeah, it's a pre-order beta.
And the issue I want to kind of discuss was the exclusivity on a particular character on PlayStation.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, because it's bullshit. I have to say, absolute bullshit.
It does suck for everyone else. I'm not going to lie.
Well, they designed this game, from what I can tell, obviously to be based around the key Avengers, and then obviously have new characters turn up. And then they kind of done it as a surprise, isn't this great kind of announcement that Spider-Man, which Sony has the film rights to, was going to be a exclusive character for all eternity on the PlayStation version of the game, which is all well and good. Which is fine. It's time exclusive. I could have batted an eyelid, I suppose, but the fact that you can play Spider-Man on other consoles and other games like the aforementioned Lego Marvel Superheroes that we had. I mentioned earlier, you can play Spider-Man on that.
Mhm.
It stinks, I have to say. It's bad practice. It's a lot of people have basically. It's become the story now rather than the game you've got now. You've got people who are going, well, Spider-Man's my favourite. I don't want to play on PlayStation. I've got an Xbox or I've got a PC.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? And I completely agree. I really do. Timed exclusive, 6 months to a year, yeah, whatever. We could have lived with that, I suppose. It would have become a non-story because everyone would have gone, yeah, they paid for it. But the fact that they're banding around now the rights of Spider-Man because they've made a few decent movies because of Marvel's help.
Right.
It's got to the point where they're using it as a very much monetary driven rather than for the fans, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
it's to get people to buy it on their system. Like you can see
Exactly.
the business
It's
decision
not,
behind
yeah.
it, but it is kind of a
Exactly.
bit what's it. But if you're going to do that, I always say if you're going to try and bring people to your system, exclusive games.
Yeah.
Not necessarily have the exclusivity for multi-platform game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this has been going on for years, though. So there's no change. I mean, Xbox.
It kind of
last-
hasn't,
they did
but
it
not
last
as bad as
generation,
it's
though.
getting.
Yeah, but
This-
Xbox were bad last gen. In the 360 days, the amount of stuff they did that PlayStation couldn't get their hands on.
Yeah, but there
No
wasn't
one batted an
characters.
eye.
It was full games, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was full games, but no one batted an eyelid. But as soon as Sony do it, everyone's kicking off.
Well,
Right.
Sony have been doing it for ages. I mean, everyone's been doing it. But the point I'm
Yeah.
making, Paul, is that this is driven by Sony, who own
Because
PlayStation.
it's a Spider-Man license, isn't it? that
Spider-Man
Sony
license,
own.
they bought the film rights for.
Yeah.
They didn't buy the game rights.
No, I know, but why not go for the game rights as well, though? Because it's keep it in house. I don't see the big deal, and I'm not talking as a fanboy. I'm just saying this is what they want to do.
It's a game that's developed across all systems, okay, and it's been
And
developed
it is going to be
at early doors.
cross-buy as well.
Buy the game, simple as.
Well, I'm not going to buy it on PlayStation. I'll buy an Xbox to kick up a stink. So there.
mean-
I just think it stinks. It really does.
Yeah, and well, the thing is that they're pretty much because if there's a big story arc with Spider-Man in the main game, that's obviously got to be cut out for the
Oh,
other
it's no,
versions.
yeah, no, it's not at all. What it is basically, this game's been in development for some time now, and the characters were pretty much set. And from what I can understand, is that Sony went to Square Enix and said, "Look, we want to put Spider-Man in there," and obviously Square Enix lies lit up, and they followed the money.
So what is this game like though? Because I'm looking at the video.
I don't know.
at the
I
minute.
don't. I've
It's
heard good
right.
things.
It's a sort of like character-driven like game where you progress and level up and get all that kind of stuff. But it is a games as a service. They've said it is a games as a service straight away.
Okay.
So it's going to constantly have bolt-ons and characters and other stuff added to it to try and keep people playing it,
Lost
sort of a
interest
thing.
already.
But yeah,
Yeah, I'm not.
yeah,
interested
exactly.
in it
That's
anyway.
kind of what threw me off. But also on top of the character thing, they have already said as well that they still have like 30-day access on PlayStation to extra things as well, like
Oh, it's just bullshit. Isn't it? It's fucking bullshit.
character skins, and then you've got, if you subscribe to Virgin Media, you get some skin pack for the characters.
Fuck
and if
Virgin
you buy
Media.
the-
Fuck 'em.
Oh my
if
god.
you buy
Fuck 'em.
some
Fuck 'em,
fucking
fuck 'em, fuck
items
'em.
from... Now, there's another thing, is like if you buy food, I think, as well, you get unboxing game and stuff. It's one of those, mate.
Oh,
It's just
weird.
literally like, what are you doing?
I mean, the graphics look quite good, but they're not the characters from the films, are they? The models.
No,
No,
they-
they're kind of redesigned. Sort
Yeah,
of
of course.
like-
They won't be able to- yeah.
I don't think they can use those
No.
likenesses anyway.
Okay.
So they got
But what type of
facsimiles.
game is it? I mean, I'm trying to get it. Is it just like
Kind
a
of
fighting
like a
game?
third-person fighting game,
Oh,
yeah.
like,
sort
like
of
a
like.
battle arena thing.
But
Yeah.
even people have said when you're using characters like Iron Man and you just want to fly around above enemies, like hammering them and stuff, like exactly what Iron Man would do, it only limits to how high up you can go before it's like return to area. And it's not that high up at all either. Where you just think, oh, that's not. Oh, it's not even. It's about as high as a
Yeah.
house. That's it.
Well,
Yeah, I can see
he's
now,
a
yeah.
he's a chicken shit otherwise, isn't he?
Was that game that came out on the PlayStation 3 that was free? That was like that kind. That looks like this.
DC
but,
Universe, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I played that. That was dog shit, really.
Right.
Yeah, I
Shall we
don't.
go on to another
more-
bit of news anyway after all of this, just to cheer ourselves up a little?
Go on.
Well, from a bit of a downer on a game that's like almost everything you don't want to hear coming into a game, sort of a thing,
Yeah.
to a game that might be interesting. Most people probably know Rockstar's their next game,
Rocksteady, yeah.
Yeah. What was it again? I think I
What's
saw
it
this.
called?
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Rockstar. Obviously, the Arkham Asylum people and
Yeah.
Arkham City, etc. Their next game is going to be something to do with that, and a lot of people have been speculating in the teaser image, which was like kind of like a Superman character with his back, and then the
Oh, it's Bizarro apparently.
crosshairs of the. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people thinking that's Bizarro. So
Yeah, they'll say Bizarro.
it's going to be interesting to see. What was it? The 22nd of this month was the date as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, 22nd of August. There's a whole host of DC stuff happening, from films to video games and all sorts. That's no doubt going to be all over YouTube. So
DC could technically start staging a bit of a comeback, because the last few films they've done have been reasonable.
yeah, I mean, I watched Shazam the other day, and that was perfectly fine.
Yeah, there is interest in the Snyder cut of Justice League. So
they're also going the route of the multiverse now, which makes perfect sense after the mess that was kind of the last few years.
I mean, yeah, if they're basic, like, I'm hoping from that version is we get a completely different film
yeah, the Snyder
in
cut.
like what actually happens.
Yeah, we do. I've been keeping a close eye on it. I saw a new image today of a redesigned Steppenwolf. He looks a bit fearsome now, as opposed to like a shit PlayStation 3 character.
Who owns WB now?
Warner Brothers.
Warner, AT&T.
Is this the one that Microsoft have got their eyes on buying?
Not anymore. I think they said they're not for sale anymore. I've read something today about it.
Because I know there was loads of rumours going around that they were going to.
Yeah, it's not going to happen apparently.
Okay.
So yeah, it's it looks alright. I mean, I kind of like the idea of what they're doing. It's taken a while for them to get back on track, and I think what you're going to see a lot of in both the DC movies and Marvel movies, especially into 2022, is multiverses, alternate versions of characters. The reason why we no longer have Ben Affleck as Batman is going to be probably explained. All sorts of shit. So
Cool.
yeah, man. It's going to be interesting times for comic book movies, but as long as they can bring the audiences along with them, it'll be fine. But it could get a bit complicated, and some people might scratch their heads a little bit, but we'll see.
DC always do, though.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle with DC films or comics or whatever, because everything's a bloody different multiverse, and there's no coherent kind of narrative throughout.
It's line that you can follow, like which storyline we on now.
It's like
which universe are we in now?
Everything's a remix. It's just, and at least with Marvel, there is a narrative that runs throughout, of course.
Okay.
Engine.
Any other news?
Was there one more thing?
I'm sure there must be. This video games we're talking about. There's always news with video games.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember at the moment,
I'll
man.
just go on to the questions, yeah?
Yeah, go for the questions.
Yeah, it's not that anyway.
Cool.
Oh, I've got a bit of news.
Oh, go on then.
Here we go.
Old Yoshi Ono has left Capcom today.
Oh yes, that was the other bit I
He's
was thinking about.
his retirement,
Yeah.
or that he's leaving that company anyway.
They had an argument about their next edition of Street Fighter, apparently.
Thought you were gonna say
Oh, is that
Spider-Man.
what it's about?
Yeah, I read some stuff. They've been. Well, the idea was the reason why we've got another season on Street Fighter 5.
Why? When I thought the last one was like, this is the complete version. It's like, look, you can't even stick to that.
Because
Just make another game.
Street Fighter 6 was due to be released in 2022. So the idea is that they'll have another series or season on Street Fighter 5 with about 5 characters. I think they've announced 4 of them. There's one extra one coming at Christmas next year.
And it's always annoying again because they've got a character from another series as one of the guest characters.
Yeah,
and it's
one of the
kind
guest
of
characters.
A series a lot of people want.
Yeah,
It's
so
like a bit of a revival for.
It might come. If anyone's curious, it's Akira, something like that from Rival Schools.
Rival Schools.
Yeah. So the idea being now is that we have this season to get through, and then the part of the reason why that's come about.
It goes on long though, doesn't it? Like the first character.
Oh, they've milked it.
Like winter this year, isn't it? And then Akira doesn't turn up until
Spring or
next summer.
Spring or
next
summer.
I think it is.
And then
it's
there's
quite
another.
late. I remember looking and thinking, "Wow, that's a way out."
Yeah, so you got Rose, You got I can't remember his name.
Dan,
Dan. Dan. Dan was
Oro
always
and
all
Dan,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I want Dan. And the last character, as I said, there's a few possible targets. I mean, no one's done. What was her name? Oh God, the one from Street Fighter 4, Sea Viper. Sea Viper hasn't turned up again, which I'm surprised
Oh yeah,
about.
she was a pretty
She was
popular
decent.
character as
She was
well,
decent, yeah.
and
So
had
we'll
a
see.
good moveset.
Yeah. Well, the idea now is Street Fighter 6 has gone back to the drawing board because no one could really agree with the fighting mechanics and the obviously the system, because every single
They
Street Fighter
need to sort out
reinvites
the
itself.
fucking monetization in the games.
Yeah.
Like, it's putting people off.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, this is the issue that the fighting games have. They're kind of, for me, caught in this weird fucked up loop where it's like not enough people are buying their games, so they're trying to rinse them for all they're worth, and by doing that, you're pushing more people away.
Yep.
You kind of want to have an interesting game with an interesting system that appeals to like the main core demographic, but also too fucking damn good if you're just a casual fan.
Yep.
And then hit it off with that, and then revitalise it all again, like full rosters. None of this fucking series shit, just to try and keep people in for esports.
Yeah. What kind of wound me up a little bit every single time? Oh, you can earn the characters just by playing the game.
The sickening thing with fights.
And then you realise, how long does it take you to fucking earn that character?
Or what was it in Street Fighter 5? One of the original things where it's like play for each character's story mode, which was 4 one-round fights if you're lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like you can unlock the outfit from the story. Oh, that's cool. Where is it? Oh no, you've still got to buy it. You've just unlocked the option to purchase it. It's like fuck off. Come on.
Well, I'm tempted to get the final expansion with all the characters that they've released, which I haven't got yet, and obviously all the costumes.
I'm now going to wait until the inevitable PS5 or Xbox Series X version of it when it's completed and fully done.
Yeah. Well, Street Fighter 6, yeah, it's going to have to be
maybe
bigger.
I don't know. This is why I kind of, like I said, I used to love fighting games. They're my favourite genre. They were pick up and play, instant satisfaction, skill based. And for how they've gone with the way even if they announced one that I literally could only dream of coming out, like say they announced a new Rival Schools, I'd be instantly like I say, happy, excited, like it's coming, and then instantly in the back of my head as well at the same time, where's the catch is going to come? Who's made the roster cut?
All the characters are on the disc already. You have to pay.
What's the microtransactions? Yeah.
It's like
stages.
I didn't mention this in the previous podcast, but I played a little bit of Soul Calibur 6 on Game Pass.
Yep.
That's still getting updates as well, isn't it? All of them are Soul Calibur, Tekken. I've deleted Samurai Showdown and all of that off.
God, it's just... I mean, I just wanted to fucking play a couple of rounds, and I had to jump through hoops to get there. Telling me this, telling me that. Go here if you want to customize. Do this, do that. I want to fucking play the games. You know, it's a fucking beat 'em up. They've overcomplicated them. I'm a simple person when it comes to fighting games. It's kind of like
some would say overall.
Yeah, it's fine, mate. That's fine. But it's hard to get excited by a game if they're putting up hurdles, and you see those hurdles as soon as you play, because it's almost overwhelming. Anyway, we said our piece.
All right, let's get to questions. Yeah?
Anyway, Street Fighter 6, bring it on.
Okay, so Bryax87 says, now that Ubisoft has cleared out all the top staff who were only greenlighting the same identical open world game as a service games, what are the chances we get a proper sequel to Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter or Rainbow Six Vegas?
It'd be nice.
I think Rainbow Six is its current model. I think they're going to take that out for a while because it's been hugely popular. Unfortunately, if you want that kind of tactical single player thing, you're kind of going to hope for another franchise to do it.
Well, I mean, everyone's waiting for a new Splinter Cell as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Not going to happen.
It's been so long as well.
Yeah. I think Sam Fisher's dead.
No, not comes to that mobile game.
No.
They're going to wait until Michael Ironside's dead anyway, and then just be like, there we go.
Don't say that.
And then Ruski Do added to the question saying, in addition to the above, do you think Ubisoft will overcompensate on the female lead characters in the wake of accusations and revelations?
There'll
But
be a
they only
balance.
cast alpha male leads. I think you're right,
There'll be
Dan.
there'll be a balance.
I
There's
think
not
there'll
there's
just
not
be
going to go.
an option to choose. No one's
Yeah.
got. Well, if you've got a fucking problem with options to choose, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like play what you want. There you go,
Yeah.
job done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you pissed off that another gender or whatever is in the game? Just don't play as it if you don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. Get out your basement. Go and see some real people. But be safe. Mask up.
Oh
And
no!
wash
don't
your
listen
hands.
to
Wash
that
wash your
bollocks.
hands and put some
Oh.
put some sanitizer on them.
Do you know what the problem with the human race is now? We're too fucking clean. That's why these viruses run rampant, mate. That's all.
Too clean.
We're too,
Too
clean.
clean.
We're too
Too
clean.
clean.
It's like people don't let their kids play in the dirt and get dirty anymore. They're all fucking...
So where's Marcus at the moment? Is he outside of his
Mud.
cage?
He's
Is he outside of his
sleeping.
cage?
Outside
Oh,
his
okay.
He's
cage.
That's it, mate. That's it. Yeah. Right. Facebook questions. We have.
Yeah.
Ronnie McCarty says, rate Sony and Microsoft next gen shows so far out of 10, and then tell us what each company needs to show you before you are convinced you need to purchase a next gen console. La 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 la.
5 out of 10 for both. And show me the prices.
I
We
don't
need
think that's.
Yeah.
We need the
I
prices.
need something something outstanding that's going to grab me, and that's what we haven't had. We haven't got that. I mean, that moment that we had when I first saw Gears of War for the first time, or I mean, this gen's been a bit of a difficult one. This gen, I must admit. But I mean, the Order, even though I did like the look of that, the Order 1886, that looked good, and I thought, going to get a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But it's not happened, I'm afraid. So
I want to know release date and prices still, and I want to see a game that actually blows me away, because nothing I've seen on either system has made me go, wow, that looks amazing.
Well, Spider-Man Miles Morales looked good until I found out that
Horizon.
Yeah. I mean,
Horizon
if you
2 will be good as
exactly,
well.
I mean, if you're going to get what it sounds like now, the original PS4 Spider-Man, jazzed up with all the neon shit, and ray tracing, that might be appealing. It all depends on the retail value, and I guarantee you they're going to block that one for £60.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Elliot adds on saying, does anyone find it suspicious we don't have release dates for the systems as well?
They're playing
They're
chicken.
just playing a
they're
staring
playing
game.
chicken, aren't they?
It's
We know that
just
Xbox is going to be cheaper than the PlayStation. That's the known fact.
No,
Yeah, I've got a
I
feeling
can't
it'll come out
believe
the
that.
gate.
No way.
Oh, come
No,
off!
I think it's going that way.
Yeah, it's going that way.
I've-
Well, they've discontinued the Xbox X1, the X, haven't they?
Yeah.
So what does that say? If they've
It's going to
discontinued
be
it,
there's going to be an
it's gonna be that
interim.
price.
Well, exactly. There's going to be an interim. There's going to be one that sits above it and below it.
Yeah.
So there's going to be what the rumours of the Project Lockheed or whatever, which is going to be like the Series X but without the 4K.
Lockhart.
And then you got the 4K and all that nonsense at the top end.
And they
So
could be,
that's
they're chucking Game Pass with it for a year free or something like that.
maybe
There'd be little deals that Microsoft would do to get you to go into it.
Yeah, and then I suppose with PS5 you go shit. I'm just thinking now because the issues now, I suppose we've heard issues with the controller not being applicable to PS4 games that you play on it. So
No, it's the other way around, Dan.
yeah, well, PS5 games can't use PS4 controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you just going to get the one controller for the PS5, or is it going to come with two as standard? I don't know.
Well, how many consoles do you know to a standard these days?
Not many.
Usually, always only come with one, really.
I know
Unless you
people.
like
I mean,
bigger bundle, which is usually later on.
I mean, there's a couple of arguments, right, for and against this, right? Because throughout the history of consoles, you've always had to use the new peripherals.
Because things advance, don't they?
but-
That's the reason why.
But I think Microsoft are playing a very smart game here, because they're acting like, oh, well, we're being super consumer friendly. You can use all your old Xbox controllers with the Series X, and that's good if you're in a household where you need multiple controllers. You do playing multiplayer couch co-op or whatever. But if you're a normal person, there's only you who plays your console, so you only need one controller anyway. especially with the Xbox, because you can use the batteries. Now, with the PlayStation, the reason I have two PS4 controllers is so I can always have one on fucking charge when I'm playing with the other one. No, that is dead serious.
Yeah, I know
You
it's
know,
right. I've got two.
yeah.
I've got two as well. I do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, so in the Xbox aspect, it's kind of like, well, it doesn't really matter because I'll just change the batteries. So
Isn't the Elite though the same as the PlayStation 4 though? Is that? I thought the Elite.
it has a pack, I think. Doesn't it have a battery pack?
No, I thought it was the same as the PlayStation. The
I
Elite.
don't know.
I don't know,
Yeah.
mate. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know whether someone can tell us that, but I thought the Elite was the same as the
Well,
PlayStation.
the Elite's a shit controller anyway, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but it's a £150 controller though, isn't it?
I know,
Yeah,
it's a
but
rip. It is a rip.
It makes people feel good about themselves.
Yeah, it's a rip off. It really is. No. Anyway, next question.
Mm-hmm.
We've already spoke. Tom asked about the Spider-Man DLC thing, so I'm going to skip that because we talked about it. Nikki Wilson says, "When do you think Sony and Xbox are going to announce the price of the PS5 and Series X, or are they leaving it for a surprise after we check our bank statements the next day?"
Yeah.
It'll be a deposit scheme, and what you got to do is shell it out when it turns up, all right? And if you don't, it goes back to the warehouse.
Yeah.
So who here's
sorry.
buying one on
No.
day one? Is that only you?
No, I don't know.
I'm probably going to pick both up.
You're
Maybe
going to probably
day
pick
one.
both up. Wow.
It depends on whether or not we're all fucked with lockdown.
Well, it depends
So-
if we still have fucking jobs as well. The
Yeah.
way the redundancies are going around the country at the minute.
Oh, which next biblical plague hit?
Yeah. Anyway, next question. Tom Harding. I've seen that Controller's getting some new Alan Wake DLC or theme DLC. Could this be a prelude to a future Alan Wake 2? I'm intrigued because I've seen the screenshot of the title of the DLC, and it's certainly very Alan Wakey. So I'd be intrigued to see how
Eggs
it
and
fits
bakey, Alan Wakey.
Who Remedy is nothing to do with Xbox now, is it?
I think they are.
No, they're
on one
their
of
own thing. No,
studios.
they moved away. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically, because there was a rumor I sort of heard a while back that Alan Wake was going to come out on PlayStation.
Well, it's
I
a
thought
bit
it
old
was.
now, isn't it? To be,
Well,
everyone
Could you
will play
imagine it? You go.
And then then release a new Alan Wake on everything, so that because you've got to remember how many people played Alan Wake.
Oh, it's
only
fucking
people-
awesome.
So I never finished Alan Wake. I played half it. I never finished it. Don't know why. I just didn't. It wasn't like that. I just don't know. Something else must have come on.
Red Dead Redemption. It came on the same day as Red Dead Redemption, didn't it?
Did
Which is
it?
why I didn't see it for a
Okay.
while.
Never finished that
Yeah.
either.
Yeah. Great game. Completed it 3 times. Alan Wake.
Do you reckon we'll ever
Hardcore.
get another Max Payne?
Nah.
Oh, I'd
Speaking of
love
old
another
games
Max
like
Payne because
that.
I love 3.
It wouldn't be as good as what they are. Would they? I don't think.
I think
they'd be as good.
you liked 3, didn't you, Darren?
Yeah, 3 was good. I thought
I
3 was
played
great.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant, and it was quite a sad sort of story as well, wasn't it? Really, what was going on, but brilliant game. But it's Rockstar, isn't it? They're a bit. They're going down this route now. It looks like we're just going to get 2 games a generation, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's their business model. You look how much money they're making. You can understand why.
That GTA, you need to understand that GTA hasn't gone out of the fucking top 10 sales chart since it came out. I don't think.
No.
Since it came out.
God, it's insane, isn't it?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right, I'm going to get through the last couple of questions, guys. It's getting quite late now. Paul Clark says, does anyone still have the energy to play games in this bloody hot weather? I'm sweating just sitting around doing sod all.
No.
Not really, no.
No. I've been sitting
It's
by
so
the
hard to
paddling pool.
concentrate on a story while you're mopping your brow every 5 seconds. Just feeling generally uncomfortable. You're just not in the mood to game.
I'm worried my PlayStation's going to blow up
I
when
find-
it gets so hot.
I did get a little bit jealous. I'm not going to say who, but I put in chat Oh yeah, I'm sitting by the paddling pool, and then a certain American said I'm sitting by my swimming pool in my back garden. I was like, you fucking bastard! I'd love a swimming pool.
Get your paddling pool out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then there
Put your
wasn't the
feet in
best
it
part, like,
and
and
just
then
change
back
the
into
background.
my
There you go, job
Yeah.
done.
back into my air-conditioned house as well.
Yeah,
It's
they've all
like,
got
oh,
air conditioning. They've all
Yeah.
got swimming pools.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
And,
Anyway.
and go down to Wickes and buy some sand and put that around the paddling pool.
Make me feel like I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, last question from Chris Bloomdahl. He says, with the new Halo game not having any ray tracing at launch, will everyone still be compelled to play without it, or will you wait until it's added?
It's fucking Game Pass, mate. On it.
Day one, mate. I'll be playing that
Day
shit.
day one, play it for 2 hours, and then never play it again.
Day one, finish it the same day, and then delete it.
There you go.
Unless the multiplayer's any good, which I doubt it will
Probably
be.
won't play it, so
Oh, stunty! Oh, you don't have Game Pass, do you?
I've cancelled it.
No, because you're all about PlayStation Now.
No, it's not. No, nothing to do with the PlayStation. I cancelled it because I'm not using it. So there's no point paying
Yeah, I
for
know what you
something.
mean. Yeah.
£11 a month, and I'm not playing I'm not playing games as much as I was at the moment. So it's no point paying.
Because
for
you're
something
building
I'm
your
not
man shed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right, and it's just pointless paying for. You know what it's like. People's going about all these subscriptions you pay for. It all starts adding up.
Yeah,
And
it
it is at the
100%
moment.
it does.
So,
Think of how many bills you pay every month.
oh, it's crazy. I mean, I get Now TV at the moment for $2.99, but that will go up in September, so that's going to be dumped. Amazon Prime, Netflix. What else to pay for? I don't know.
That's probably
living-
it. Your
water
mobile
bill.
phone contract?
Yeah, well, that's just
Yeah,
pays.
Electric bill, water bill.
Electric bill, gas. I even pay to have a poo in the toilet.
Wow.
Sewage waste.
What, you get charged per flush?
No.
Yeah, because with your water you
Little
get
coin
charged
meter.
twice, don't you? You get charged for your wastewater as well as your,
Yeah, I
water
never
coming in.
used to when I used to live up in Surrey. I used to just get one bill that paid all of it.
Oh.
What, is
Now
that
I
because you dumped in a bucket?
Yeah, but now I get two separate ones. I get one for how much water I use.
Yeah,
I'm on a
because you
water
probably
meter.
weren't on a meter before, maybe.
Yeah, I
don't-
wasn't on a meter.
Yeah, we're
no,
on
I
a
know.
meter now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a pain in the arse.
Yeah, shit, because you end up paying way more when you're on a meter.
Yeah, I know. Can't get out of that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, my water bill's insane. And you
Yeah.
start filling up the paddling pool.
I pay about £20 a month.
Fucking.
Boom.
Oh, right. We'll all come round your house for a bath
Yeah,
then,
that's
yeah?
it.
Yeah, if you want, you can do that. You'll have to. Yeah. No, I decided against it. Changed my mind.
That sounds about right for one person, though, to be honest, Dan. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I mean, as
Yeah,
I said, the electricity's gone up a little bit because of being at home all the time, but it's not too bad.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that, I think, just double check, that is all the questions. I just want to put a big thank you out to my free Patreon subscribers, Brian, Phil and Wes, and to my PayPal subscribers, Peter Rumbell, Paul Hickin, Simon Sheesby, Paul Lever, John Levitt, Byron Pallier, and our very own Cinnamon Dan.
Yeah, well, I need two fuckers subscribing. Put a quid in the pocket of Webby so he can use it to buy games.
I wish. That'd be nice, though, wouldn't it? Yeah.
No comment.
Just want to say a big thank you. I'm even
Yeah, no,
sending Stunty a Mojo t-shirt.
Yeah, send
Exactly.
me a t-shirt and I'll subscribe.
You might as well. I might as well flog see if anyone wants one.
Well, my old t-shirts.
Yeah, your t-shirts of the previous incarnation
Own
of
a
this
piece of
podcast.
history.
Yeah, that might return at some
But
point.
what's quite handy
third
is the
post-
websites.
Third podcast hosted.
If the cool thing is if you pump in the website that's on the t-shirts, mojo-interactive.net, it just forwards you to 360gamercast.com.
And who's going to be doing that?
I don't know.
So how long did 360 Gamercast run until it changed to Mojo?
Maybe about 4 or 5 years, I think.
4 or 5 years. So we got 4 or 5 years, then we changed it back to Mojo again, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then you can get the t-shirts out again.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I do like this orange, though. So... What are you laughing at now, you weirdo?
Oh God.
What's he laughing at? What's so
I
funny?
don't know. He's muted himself.
Anyway, I think we should end it here.
I think we've lost Darren
Yeah. Been nearly 3 hours, man.
again.
I know.
Jesus.
Dan's fault.
I know.
Why? So does we ramble on?
Rambling on about his...
It's your rant
Air
about
shows.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck him.
I love winding you up.
Yeah.
I'll come round wearing my Spider-Man outfit next time.
Oh well, that's a bit pervy. I'm pretty sure they don't make ones for grown men, mate.
Oh, I don't know. What did I see yesterday? I was with someone yesterday and we saw a Superman outfit. It was a bit bizarre. I must admit, it didn't look right.
Was it chafing a little bit too,
I
riding?
don't know. Where did I see that? I can't remember where I saw that now.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's end it here because I've been dying for a piss for the last hour.
Have you
I
now?
feel like I'm
I've
gonna
had one
explode.
whilst I've been talking to you.
No,
So
fuck
yeah, that
it. It's
quite
not
did
like the
like
old
it.
days where I could take a piss while I'm still recording. You could hear the pee hitting the toilet.
Well, that's what Peebs does, doesn't
I'm
it?
kind of stuck here because I'm on camera and all that. And I'm in my pants, so I have to wait till I turn the camera off so I can get up.
There is also the bottle technique.
Yeah, I don't have a bottle next to me, mate.
Uh,
And the glass of water I have is too small to fit all my piss in.
No, well, pint glass, mate, it works.
I've filled up a pint glass before and carried on, so
Yeah?
yeah.
Oh, God.
yeah, big bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a story for another time. The missus is like, what are you talking?
Pissing.
Talking about pissing into pint glasses, all right? Griffey used to have one fave online, a battle bucket. Is it like in South Park where Carmen's like, Ma'am, and she gets the bucket, he shits in the bucket, he's get me. Oh,
Can you
brilliant.
not get a hose and just put it out the window?
Gravity, mate. You need to piss quite steadily to get that up the window sill. And over.
Well, no, you go down the hose and then the hose and then if you're upstairs, the laws of gravity will make it go downstairs.
Ah. Yeah, I'll let you try that one out and let me know how it gets on. Well, here we go. Is this the scene from South Park?
Yeah, the Warcraft episode is one of my favourite episodes of South Park.
I mean, in all fairness, this is several basements up and down the US and the UK right now.
I don't know if World of Warcraft has still got that. It's still got that kind of
Put
thing
out of his
about
bum
it,
in the
you know.
bucket. Hey,
Because it used to be, everyone was addicted to it, and having all these long sessions. Is it still up there in that regard, or?
I assume so.
Oh, I don't know.
Probably
I'll be
the
interested to
ability
see.
to
What, be interested to see what their player base is now. Actually.
there's probably still people out there playing it.
Oh yeah,
There
I
is,
mean it's
though,
still
isn't there?
popular, but is it still
Yeah.
the most popular MMO?
Oh, what a question to end the podcast on.
Mm.
I will let you ponder that, and we will answer it in 2 weeks' time.
I
How's
wouldn't
that?
bother, mate.
Well, we will discuss player numbers of the MMOs in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, can't wait.
Oh yes, Dan will be there. Number crunching. This is favourite
No,
hobby.
I'm taking a fucking episode off. Fuck it.
Fair enough. Right, that is the end of the show, guys. Thank you very much. So from me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PSND, Steam ID, Webby360G.
Still in me pants, still in my Dan.
And Sensei Switch.
Still sweating my nuts off. It's #1 Stuntmaster.
So thank you very much. Oh, Griffey mentioned man nappies. I didn't think of those. Might have to buy some. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. Don't forget to visit the website 360gamercast.com. You can subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/360gamercast. Twitter at 360gamercast. Discord group, of course. The link will be in the show notes. It's all happening in the Discord. I don't think I've missed anything. If you want an old school Mojo t-shirt, just send me a message and let me know.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, yeah. And that's about it. So thank you very much. Sorry.
And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you've
I won't
got.
bother.
Yeah. It's a cesspit.
Brilliant. So it's Cinema Dan. Send him all your best Spider-Man memes.
Yes.
Yeah. So next week, all Spider-Man memes. Just a really
And stand #1 stunt master, all your best Xbox pictures.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Sounds fantastic. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. It's been emotional. I'm going to end it now so I can go and do a whiz. So thank you very much. We will see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.